love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look it up. Don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just look it up. Don't be love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look it up.
Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the Sunday Week 13 live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me is my boy D-Bro, Derek Brown, the King of Bros, and it's you. We're hanging out here on the YouTube channel like we always do. 190,000 subscribers. I don't know if all of you are here today, but hopefully those that are here, those who still have questions, we've got answers. Drop them in the chat. Remember, you have to be a subscriber of the podcast. You have to be a subscriber of the YouTube channel in order to go ahead and drop your questions and your comments in there. And this is when the rubber hits the road. This is when things get real serious here, Derek Brown. We've got a couple weeks left to get to the playoffs. We got a couple weeks ahead of us to get to the big dance or to hold up the trophy at the end of the year. let's talk about our expectations first and foremost for Ja'Marr Chase heading into this game. I want to talk about Joe Mixon with you also, because as of we were waiting, still no approval of Mixon being able to play today, what that could mean for Samaje Perine's value. So first, let's start with Chase. Chase's first game back in weeks and weeks. Are you ready to just go right back and down to the well and throw Ja'Marr Chase back into your lineup?
Yes, sir. I mean, the news that we were looking for, Joe, and what I've struggled with when I was kept updating the primer, and I was like, look, wait until Friday. Oh, sorry, wait until Saturday. I kept waiting for the news drop, and we finally got it from Cameron Wolf this morning, coming out saying that he is not going to be limited on snaps. They're going to monitor him throughout the game, but the expectation is he's going to be a full go. And if that's going to be the case, we know the ceiling that Ja'Marr Chase brings. He is a must start in all formats. He will be a wide receiver 1 in my rankings as I'm updating them live right now. I'm moving, and I had Ja'Marr Chase with the idea of him being on limited snaps and the ceiling still being present. I had him as a low end wide receiver 2. I am moving Ja'Marr Chase up to, let's go with wide receiver 7.
All right. Wide receiver. I like that. I can make a good argument for 8. 7 over Amon-Ra for me. That's a little tricky set of circumstances. What about Samaje Perine? Because whether Mixon's cleared to play or not, I don't know how we could expect a whole lot from Joe Mixon this week under these circumstances. Not to mention, we know sometimes when these guys push back too soon from the concussions, it could be a very difficult thing where they come out of a game as well. So Samaje Perine's value, is it RB2 or is it more?
No, he's an RB1, and I have him ranked as such. If he is going to play, he is going to play all the downs, all the snaps. He's going to play the passing down guy. We know the upside that he brings. And the other thing that we got to talk about here, Joe, is with Samaje Perine's receiving upside. We've seen it already, man. Like, he could put up 30 points. He put up 3 touchdowns. Kansas City is bottom 5 versus receiving backs in multiple categories. So Joe Burrow, we know where the ball goes. So I think Samaje Perine, if you have him on your rosters, he's a locked-in RB1. I have been approaching this situation from the beginning that Joe Mixon is not going to play. He was limited in practice all week. He was not able to get in a full practice. And we could all say, oh, well, it's the second week. And yes, like, running backs usually get cleared. Okay, well, that's fine. But that's not what this situation has been trending throughout the entire week. So we can't say that this is just locked in, same scenario, all good. Like, he wasn't even cleared to play yesterday. So I don't think that happens today.
What about Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson? Gibson is going to play, it looks like, but he has not practiced all week. I'm very iffy on this. I think this is good news if you have Brian Robinson. I think you get him in the lineup, but what do you think?
Oh, I firmly agree. I'm approaching Brian Robinson like he is a high-end RB2, mid RB2 at lowest. Like, right now I have him at RB18. I'm probably going to be moving him up just a smidge to like RB17, 16 range. And I'm going to move Gibson down. I think that this backfield showed a shift last week with Brian Robinson taking over more of the passing down work. Gibson only ran 14 routes to Brian Robinson's 9. And now we have Gibson where he's banged up. And it's not like, oh, it's a shoulder, other different types of things that like, okay, he can play through. It's a foot. Like, you kind of need your feet to cut and avoid tackles.
Yes, feet are important to running. Yes. That is something that I have seen once or twice in the past.
That's why people come here, Joe, the hard-hitting injury analysis. That's why they tune in.
I'm not a doctor, but feet are important when it comes to running.
Did you stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night? That's the
I don't know if I ever, you know what? I don't know if I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express ever. I remember staying at Holiday Inns in the past as a kid. Other than that,
but not the Express.
Not the Express. I think that's where you get super smart. Travis Etienne expected to play versus the Lions, so he is back in lineups. Also, Jerry Jeudy expected to play. Debo plans to play, and they keep saying it in quotes here. So, okay, there you go. I don't know how good you feel about that, but that's basically where we're at with some of these injuries and some of these issues too. Also, Trayvon Diggs is going to play coming up there later for the Dallas Cowboys. That was something that was a little trickier too when we're trying to look at some of the matchups and things. So he is going to be in, but Kenny Moore on the other side of that game is going to be out. So could be some good things there for some of the passing game work because Kenny Moore has been better of late, and not having him this week should be a big loss here for the secondary of the Indianapolis Colts. Let's get to the questions here. And again, just as a reminder, we always like to remind you, you've got questions, we've got answers, drop them in the chat. But first, subscribe to Fantasy Pros YouTube channel. Then you can ask your question. Make sure you click that little bell till it goes ding for notifications, and you could be entered to win a Justin Jefferson autographed jersey from our good friends at pristineauction.com. It is beautiful. It is glorious. Look at it. It's purple. It's fantastic. We'll see if the sauce can stop the Justin Jefferson today. My money says no one can stop the Justin Jefferson. We shall see. I'm looking forward to watching that one. But again, this can be yours from Pristine Auction. Subscribe, like the stream, click that little thumb, and then go ahead and ask your question. That's how you get into it. Let's go to the Rickest Rick. I love this. Right off the bat, one of my absolute favorites here, the Rickest Rick. I love Rick and Morty, huge Rick fan. He says, love the show, guys. I have Jeff Wilson in my flex full PPR. Should I sub in for Murray, Gus Edwards, Dillon, Slayton, or Burks with the tough matchup that Wilson has against the 49ers? He says, thanks and good luck today. So do you want to sit Jeffrey Wilson for Gus Bus, Dillon, Slayton, Burks, or Murray? What do you think? Edwards is intriguing.
I would say this.
He brings.
El Jefe is the one that I'm picking over all of those guys. If you're looking at the highest floor, if you need ceiling and the guy that can give you the 2 touchdowns, maybe runs for 80 plus yards, I don't think that Jeff Wilson has that this week.
No,
I think that you're playing him for touchdown equity. If you need the ceiling, it's Edwards over Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, I think he has more touchdown equity this week than Wilson has. I do.
Yes.
Alex King, I've entered desperation mode, fellas, with the fate of the universe on the line. Well, not really. I need to start 2 in a full PPR format. Darius Slayton, Drake London, Gus Edwards, and Kyron Williams. I'm starting the running backs here. Let's go.
Yep.
Kyron Williams
Agreed.
season.
So wait a minute, Joe, are you on the bus?
No.
Are you on the Kyron?
I'm not on the bus, but I'm in DFS.
No.
I have one Kyron Williams lineup just to guard myself against.
Because you don't want to listen to me next week if you're not riding on the bus with me.
I've got one. I've got one share, and it is entered into a contest. And if it's bad, Derek Brown also will not come to work on Monday. But you're agreeing, right? It's the 2 running backs here. You can't play the other guys.
Yes, fully agree.
Can't do it. Christoph Durl, hello from Germany. Bench Evans against Lattimore and start Christian Watson. Yes. I approve this message.
If Lattimore is active, he has been Evans' daddy.
I have Evans low in the ranks this week. Not a fan. Art Padilla. Art Padilla says, hail to the pros. Hail to you, Art. I need your help more than ever. Full PPR, Lamar or Tua. This is a tricky one. Zeke or Pierce, Treylon or Pittman. These are all really tough. Let's take them one at a time. The quarterbacks, you want to start Lamar or Tua this week?
Tua. It's easy.
I agree. Zeke or Pierce?
I'm gonna go, and this I'm gonna talk out both sides of my mouth. If you need the floor, it's Zeke. If you're going ceiling, it's Pierce.
I would agree. And then Treylon, Burks, or Pittman this week?
Treylon.
I agree with that as well.
I have no Pittman love. No Pittman love.
No, not this week. Not if Diggs is playing, which is why I mention it to people. Saxon W, 36. Advice, please. Half PPR. Starting RBs are Chubb and Monty. Deciding on the flex between Najee or Rashad White. And what's going on with White's role with Lenny back. Have you got any Najee news this morning? Because I can't find any. It's getting a little annoying.
I've got none, and I threw this out on Twitter, and I want to clarify this out for the masses here. I don't wish for players to be injured. I have never wished for players to be injured. That has never been my onus for any player, much less Najee Harris. So if I'm talking about Jaylen Warren out there and we're talking about could he be the starter? Can he blow up in this spot? All my worries, like, we have to give some credence to what Pittsburgh did with their injury report this week. The fact that Najee didn't practice for 2 of the 3 days, then he was limited, and then he doesn't even carry an injury tag versus Warren was a full participant all week.
Yeah.
And they listed him as questionable. Like, if nobody else is scratching your head at that, then what are we doing here, Joe?
So I guess Rashad White is your answer. You take your
Rashad White's my answer for right now. I mean,
my answer too. Because I don't like the unknown. Rashad White will lose some to Lenny Fournette, but he is right now the more dynamic, healthier guy. So I still
see
like
nothing regarding Najee Harris, which
can't
is
find
so
a
irritating.
Damn thing about it. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Frankie Plummer, full PPR, must win to take the playoffs. George Pickens or Kyron Williams in the flex. I'm playing Pickens. How about you?
Pickens.
Let's go to the next one here. We've got Gunny JC. Thank you all for your help in my first year of fantasy football, sitting in third place. Yeah, Gunny.
Let's go. Let's get that first
Welcome
place.
to the party,
Come on.
pal.
Yes.
Full diehard John McClane mode.
That was well done. I like that.
Welcome to the party, pal. Playing the number one team this week. Pick one: DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, or Garrett Wilson. It's hard. Look, Evans is out, so it's DK or Wilson, but it's really hard to start Wilson over DK. But you're still doing Wilson. It, huh? Okay.
What do we talk about every single week, Joe?
I know, man. Manor
zone. It's Tyler Lockett week, baby. Like
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. I get it. Mark Simmons. G'day, gents. Two-part question. Full PPR, Saquon, ATN, Kyron Williams, or Pacheco for RB slot. Then same people plus T. Higgins and Godwin flex. So Mark's got a lot of issues. So full PPR, I'm a little confused here. He's giving us all these RBs. But I don't know. Am I only picking one out of Saquon, ATN, Kyron Williams, or Pacheco? Because it seems like it. So he says RB slot. So
I mean, it's gonna be Saquon. I don't like it, but he's gonna have the highest touched equity and touchdown equity.
Well, especially because ATN's not 100%. So
yeah, agreed.
I mean, I like
you can't play Kyron and Pacheco.
So you're gonna play
Saquon.
ATN. Okay, so then ATN, Higgins, or Godwin. Who do you play?
You play T.
Okay, I'm good with that. Cody Schlott, our boy Cody. Happy Sunday, gentlemen. Back at
Cody?
it again. Indecisive as ever. Last flex spot. PPR, do I stick with the Gus bus or pivot to Zonovan Knight or Drake London?
No.
You
stay with Gus.
Right.
And this is something we didn't talk about this part of news too, but Michael Carter is doubtful to play. That should not be earth-shattering to anybody. But what did grace the timeline, and I wrote this already up in the primer, so go check it out. This is going to be a three-way split. Zonovan Knight is going to be splitting work with Ty Johnson and James Robinson. All three are expected to be active and get touches in this game, and that scares the bejesus out of me. Like, Zonovan Knight, you cannot play him more than, like, a middling RB3, and it is a terrible matchup. So, yeah, for all of our Zonovan Knight hopes, Robert Saleh has said, I squash thee into oblivion.
That's very nice. I like that. That was very Lord of the Ringsy. Sweet Eureka. Let's go to this one here. Sweet Eureka. Good morning, guys. Debo Samuel in my flex and standard league. Should I sub Pickens in for him? What about Jeff Wilson or Dillon this week? So let's do Wilson or Dillon first. I would still play Wilson over Dillon, despite the fact it's
if
tough.
You need ceiling, I'm going Dillon.
Okay.
Because Chicago is that bad.
All right. What about Pickens or Debo this week? I don't like the reports I'm getting on Debo.
Do not feel good about Debo.
I don't feel good about him either.
I don't feel good. And here's the other thing is, like, even if Debo is active in this game, even if we were projecting health, his role has dried up. Like, with CMC taking away the short area targets, they are not using him. When CMC arrived there, I was projecting, okay, now we get Debo being used down the field, but San Francisco's like, nah, we're not doing that. He's getting low A-dot targets all day. So you couple that with, like, iffy health stuff, I'm going Pickens here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pickens and Wilson for me. I know what you're saying about Dillon, but I just can't get there.
Yeah, I think that we're splitting hairs with those. I mean, it's fine.
Well, between us, there's not a lot of that to go. A lot of hair splitting.
Well,
RRQ89. Fantasy Pros, good morning. You helped me make the playoffs. Now, please help me secure the bye. PPR, wide receiver 2 flex from ATN, Najee, Jeff Wilson Jr., Evans, Olave, Pittman, Zay Jones, Sutton. Lots of people to choose from. Thanks for being so helpful to my team. So, look, this is just for the bye. Not that that's not important, but 2 wide receivers and a flex. ATN's my flex for me. And then I'm going to play Olave as one of my wide receivers. And then we're up for debate there. Then after that, it's a little tricky. What do you want to do here?
I think I'll lean with you on this one, Joe. That's where I'm going to go. I mean,
we need
Olave,
one more wide receiver, though. Is it Zay? Is it Sutton?
Oh, it's so gross, man.
I mean, it's hard to say Evans. It really is.
I think that, and this is, I mean, we have Najee and Jeffrey Wilson in here, though.
I think you take your 10 points. But you only play one.
Yeah,
2 wide receivers and 1 flex.
Well, no, I think that says the wide receiver 2. So they only need a second wide receiver.
Well, there's only okay. Well, then that's fine. So it's Olave. And it's 18 and Olave, and I don't have to worry.
Yeah, I think it's 18 and Olave. Yeah, sorry, we're just rereading to make sure we get this right for y'all.
My bad. Daniel Keenan, best show in the fantasy web. You're right, Daniel.
Agreed.
Thank you.
That is a yes.
There's a truth statement. I need a little help from you, Goff or White this week. Who you want to play?
Dang it, I'm riding with Mike White.
I'm riding with Goff, so you could pretend Daniel who you like more and choose off that. San Fran, Seattle, or Cleveland defense this week. I like the Seattle D in that grouping.
I like the Seattle D. Yeah,
Seattle D's been opportunistic. They make turnovers. Yep. They make things happen. They play with passion. They're not very good, but they're spunky. I like them. They are. They're not. They're not a great defense. They're a good fantasy defense, but they're not a good defense. So don't confuse those two things. Like San Francisco is a good defense, but they're not the greatest fantasy defense sometimes in terms of generating points. You want the guys that get to the quarterback, create turnovers, all that fun stuff. And then another one here, and the bottom of the barrel, Sutton, Nico, or DeAndre Carter.
I'm going Carter. I have no belief in Sutton at this point. It's sad, but it's true.
So we have an issue here. I got to plug my laptop in here because apparently I wasn't plugged in and my battery's running low. So Derek Brown, why don't you set up the next question while I do that? Okay. This is live television, folks. Here we go.
Joe with tech issues. Who could have seen this coming? All right. DJ Lors. Good morning, guys. Full PPR. Start 2 RBs. Damian Pierce, Jeff Wilson Jr., Zonovan Knight, Kyron Williams. Have Watson at the flex and Adams and Diggs at wide receiver. I'm going Damian Pierce as one of these, and Jeff Wilson I think is probably the safest guy to start. But if you need, it's PPR. So if you need the ceiling, I think you can justify going Kyron over Jeff Williams, but just Jeff Wilson. But if it's floor, then it's Pierce and El Jefe for me. Joe, have you found a plug for your laptop?
Yeah. I'm good. Pierce and Wilson for me. I see it.
Okay.
Pearson Wilson. I'm not going to get fancy with the other guys. Okay. If I'm going to go down with the ship, I'm going to go down with the ship with the 2 guys that have talent in there. That's it. Sparks Producers. Great show. Love the tools. I think he's talking about us.
That's an us thing. Yeah. That's
we're the tools. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Half PPR, 10-team league, 8-4. Need as much help as possible. Need 2 wide receivers and a flex. Devonta Smith, Mike Evans, Pickens, Gibson, DPJ, I think you mean, not DPS.
UPS?
No, that's how you get around. You got to go to the you put it in the car, you get to the DPS, and you drive it around. Huh?
No.
Jalen Warren or Cortland Sutton. Evan scares me. So 2 wide receivers and a flex. Let's start. Pickens is in. Yes.
Yes.
Devontae Smith is in.
Yes.
Okay, so we need one more here. Jalen Warren, Gibson, Mike Evans, Sutton.
I'm going Evans just by touchdown equity. Evans scares me too. But I can't play DPJ over him.
Well, we don't know about Warren yet.
I can't play Warren with Najee health. I mean, with Najee stuff up in the air.
I know you're not going to like it, but I'd play Sutton, and I Sutton's terrible. But like the whole thing is bad. But gonna get you 9 points. Yes, I can't live with a 3 Mike Evans day, and you and I both know that is in the possibility range when it comes to Evans. It is too many times. 3 or 4 points. I can't live with that. Bruce Pregler.
Or he tries to punch him in the middle of the game and then he's out for the whole game with 0.
That also happens. Bruce Pregler. Better flex, full point PPR, pick 2. Rashad White, Antonio Gibson, Kyron Williams, Tyler Lockett, or AJ Dillon. Tyler Lockett is in.
Lockett is definitely in.
And
I'm going Kyron here, dude.
You have in your rankings, you have Kyron above Rashad White?
I do, because I think that Lenny is going to be a full go. He practiced in full all week. I'm approaching Leonard Fournette. I have Leonard Fournette at RB 14. I have Rashad White at RB 35 right now.
Right.
I don't think that Lenny lost his job. Like I just think look, if he's healthy, he's gonna play. He's gonna be the lead back here.
Let's also thank our sponsor of today's show. It's Monkey Knife Fight. No math, no salary caps, no sharks. Just daily fantasy player props. $5 first game free when you sign up with the promo code FantasyPros at Monkey Knife Fight, and 100% instant deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit, but only when you join the fight at monkeyknifefight.com and use that promo code FantasyPros. That's one word, FantasyPros, at Monkey Knife Fight. I do enjoy Monkey Knife Fighting. It's a good time. Let's get to the next question here. Sandeep Takar. I feel like Swift is going to go off today. I do too, Sandeep. I know, it's just you and me. Sandeep, you and I are on an island together. I agree with you.
That feeling could be gas. Just throwing that out
It could be. It could be. Could be something I hate.
Oh, man, that just sent Troy. I got
my only other options over Swift are Donovan Peoples-Jones, Burks, or Latavius Murray in the flex. And you know what? I'm playing Swift.
I'll play Swift.
I'm with you.
I'll go
See,
Swift.
Derek Brown's in it too.
Well,
Kool-Aid
I mean, considering these
drunk.
options, yeah, I'm going Swift.
The Kool-Aid has been consumed. Tight end, Cole Kmet.
We all have gas. That's all I got away from that.
I'm playing Cole Kmet. How about you? Come on, Fields is back. Come on. I'm going to pressure you into this one.
Fine. You're going to pressure me into it. I'll go Kmet.
Yeah.
I think they're in the same bucket. They're in the same bucket.
Give
me the Fields ceiling.
Fields and Kmet together was magic. It's like you and me. Just magic. Ben Zern or Ben Zem, sorry. Hello, friends. I'm addicted to FantasyPros. Well, that's not a bad thing, Ben. There's worse things.
Not a bad thing.
You. We're entertaining and fun and informative.
Everybody has vices. If this is your one,
if this is your vice, you're doing it. Yeah, this is good. Thanks for the help all year. Half PPR, Fields or Lamar. I'm playing Fields. This is not even a question for me. Yep. Also, pick 3: Najee, Swift, Pacheco, or Mixon / P Ryan for whoever plays.
P Ryan,
Swift,
and
Pacheco.
Pacheco, based off of what we know or don't know right now, go Pacheco.
Drop KC for Green Bay or Pittsburgh, by the way, too. Yes, I would drop him for Pittsburgh, by the way.
We also need to throw out there, too, is that Jerick McKinnon has been banged up all week, so we could get, like, workhorse Pacheco. It's in the range of outcomes. I mean, I don't know. They're surely not going to... They're not going to play Rojo in his stone hands on passing downs. We know that's not going to happen.
Isn't that a hipster band from, like, the mid-2000s?
Rojo in the stone hands?
No. Well, that one, too. But I
think it was more indie rock.
Workhorse Pacheco.
Workhorse Pacheco was grindcore, I think, hardcore.
Is that what it was? Workhorse Pacheco?
It was.
Totally
Come
sounds
on,
like a band
you
name.
say it and it just automatically makes you want to hear it. Come on, we know this. But yes, drop Kansas City for Pittsburgh automatically. Do it now.
All right. Yeah, I have a hard time with White and Leonard Fournette this week. Like, I don't know. Like, I've got them both in the low 20s, the early 20s rather, like 22, 23. Like, I just can't. I have no beat on them whatsoever.
I think that everybody wants Rachaad White to be the lead back and to cut into the work so badly, but I feel like I really think we're forecasting.
I'm just kind of over the Bucs offense, period. Like, I'm just over it.
Well, that's fair. Are they the new Broncos for you?
They're not the new Broncos for me.
Now that you put the shovel back in the shed after you buried the Broncos, you're like, well, it's time to go to Brady now.
Listened a month ago when I buried the Broncos on the show. Hopefully you listened. And then you buried them when you did, because if you kept going down there, it was bad news, man. It was bad news. And by the way, yes, pick up Pittsburgh too. Yes, I like the Pittsburgh defense a lot this week.
They good.
Brandon E., good morning and happy Sunday to everyone in the chat. Let's go. Let's get a W this weekend. Brandon, just dropping comments just to support everybody.
I love that energy. See, that's the type of energy that's needed here. Come on, chat. Bring it up.
We're a special program.
Let's go.
There's a lot of other fantasy shows. There's none that are as fun as we are.
No, this is a community, man. This is family. We all want everybody to win.
Let's go. John Hoffert. Good morning, pros, and my tribal chief, Joey P. We the ones. I'm going to give you the we the ones for you. Tony Pollard or Amari Cooper, full PPR. Thanks for getting me to second place. Nice.
Yes.
First place coming this week. Let's go. And he gives the we the ones at the end, too. There you go. I'm going to say this. That's Tony Pollard for me. I don't.
Yep. Same.
They asked me this morning, what's your expectations for Deshaun Watson? And I said, none. I have zero expectations because I feel like I have no expectations. I won't be disappointed.
My expectations are for Deshaun Watson are there is going to be one heaping dose of Nick Chubb today.
Yes. Lots of Nick Chubb and booze. That's what I predict.
Someone expecting that.
Well, I mean, the words hostile environment.
Man.
I mean, it's going to be a hostile environment for him. And it should be. Frankly, I mean, let's be honest. Like, he should get booed out of that building. It's be a lot to deal with. I mean, I could see a scenario where every time he's under center, that the boos are just, it's going to get messy there. It's going to be a bad scene. And I want to watch it because it's good theater. It's, but my expectations for him, I I can't just randomly start Amari Cooper this week unless I really have no other options. I can't go to the
We have
Donovan
no
Peoples-Jones well.
idea what
The only
this,
thing
and
you
I
know is
wrote,
Chubb. That's it. That's all you know is
I
Nick
wrote
Chubb.
this up in the primer, man. I was like, we have no idea what this offense is going to look like.
Mhm.
And I had no other idea of like how to phrase this to people outside of I could count stats to you off of what Watson did years ago, and it doesn't matter
No, it means
at
nothing.
all. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. It's noise. Like, so none of us know.
Ungats, it means. That's what it means. Ungats.
That's fine.
Anthony Maggio. We got Jamal Williams or Swift in the full PPR. I'm playing Swift in the full PPR. Let's go. He's got touchdown equity too. It's a high total.
Yeah.
He catches the
Go
football.
Swift.
Let's
Swift.
go. Jersey J. Happy week 13. CPAT, Swift, Knight, Rashad White, full PPR, playing for the week 1 bye. I like all these people of our Fantasy Pros people playing for buys. Seems
It's
like things
beautiful.
are working out for them. I like it's a beautiful
weird.
thing. So I know
Strange.
you're high on CPAT this week.
I am.
So you want to play
much so.
CPAT and Swift? Because that's what I want
Yep.
to do.
Yep.
There we go.
CPAT's a definite. That's the one you lock in. He's an RB2 this week.
Matt Carmody. Pierce or Jamal Williams in the full PPR. I'm still playing Pierce.
Pierce.
James Lippy. Miss Lippy's car is green. Standard Fields or Geno. It's Fields. This is not close.
Fields.
Listen,
Look. Yeah.
Fields is a monster. If Fields is on the field, you play Fields. Period. Over pretty much anybody in fantasy.
Is on the field. Okay.
Fields is on the field. You play Fields.
Okay.
That's it.
It's a lot of field there.
Well, there's no challenge
lot
of
the
Geno
fielding.
this week against the Rams either. Like, he's not going to get challenged in this game. There's no challenge coming to the Rams side.
Here's the quick and simple of it. Justin Fields is a top 5 quarterback. Is what it is.
Justin Fields is a top 3 quarterback in fantasy.
Okay, fine. I'll take your pushback. I'll go with that.
How about them apples?
I like them apples.
Go full Matt Damon on you.
They
Push
taste
the
good.
thing right on the screen. All right, let's go to human robot. ATN, Ayuk, or gamble on Samaje Perine in the flex. Full PPR, 4-way tie for second, and 2 teams are 1 game back. Wow, this is the kind of league you want to be in. Human robot. You go with Perine? I agree.
We're going Perine.
Play the total. Go. Will Bowman. Oh, great and powerful prognosticators. Save my undefeated season. This an undefeated season. Wow. Let me tell you, Will, you might want to lose one before the playoffs.
Don't tell him that. An undefeated season is magical. Don't curse that man.
It's magical, but losing is not the worst thing in the world. I'm just telling you.
He can still go full like Dolphins on people. Let him have the undefeated season, Joe. Why are you doing this?
I'm saying
that's like talking about the no-hitter before it happens, dude. Come on.
No, it's not like that at all. It's harder to win 17 straight weeks. You have that one loss right before your team refreshes, you refocus, and you go back out there.
No.
Pick 1.5 PPR. No. Burke, Jamal Williams, or Juju. It's Juju for me, and it ain't close, Will.
Juju.
All the Juju.
Don't listen to that man. You take the undefeated to him.
I'm not saying, I'm telling you who I would play. I don't want him to lose, but I'm saying if he loses, you look at it in a different way. Magic Rat, good morrow, gentlemen. Full PPR, Brian Robinson, Travis Etienne, Garrett Wilson, and they need 1 RB and 1 for the flex.
I'm going Brian Robinson and Garrett.
I like that. I would go Etienne and Garrett because I'm a little bit more fast and loose. But Robinson and Garrett Wilson is probably a good one. Brandon Allo, good morning. Love the stream. Start 1 full PPR. Pacheco, Rashad White, Tony Pollard, or Saquon.
You gotta play Saquon. You gotta play Saquon.
I can make the Pollard argument. I can make the Pollard argument this
week.
You
can. Go ahead. Lay it out, Joe. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. So you're missing the slot corner, Kenny Moore, right? Okay. Gilmore plays on the outside. So that means you can start lining up Tony Pollard in the slot a little bit in that game. Okay. There's a massive mismatch over whatever slapnut defensive back that they picked up off the practice squad to go start against Tony Pollard. In a full PPR, again, I've seen what the Washington Commanders defense has done to running backs in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it has been very ugly. It is a cold, brisk day. There's no weather issues here in New Jersey. It is 40 degrees and sunny. There's no reason that defense can't be on its toes and ready to go. I can play. Look, Saquon is a tough one to sit, but Pollard is one guy where I can make the case for it. If you don't want to do it, that's cool. But Pollard, I'll make the case I would play Pollard over Saquon this week. And I know that's an unpopular thing. I've got him ranked over Saquon this week. So back to back, but still.
Just an update too, more news coming out that Joe Mixon is highly likely to not play today. So
why do they say that? They should say highly unlikely.
I know. I'm like,
weird.
I read that and I was like,
likely to not play. It's like they're teasing you with it.
I read that, and as soon as I read the headline, and I was like, okay, I need to accentuate at the end. He's not playing. I'm like, why do we phrase that way? And that's just Ron Burgundy.
Here we go. This is from Lone Testosterone. Lone Testosterone. New York in the house. Worried about Josh Jacobs. Don't be. Do not start Miles Sanders or Jamal Williams over Josh Jacobs. Listen to me, Lone. Listen to me. Do not do this. Do not start Miles Sanders today over Josh Jacobs. You will hate your life. Okay?
Look.
Don't do it. My friends don't let friends start Miles Sanders this week. Okay?
I'm worried about Jacobs' health this week. Like, I'm not playing him. I'm fading him in DFS, but in redraft and season-long formats, you have to start him. You have to start him over those two guys.
You have to.
Yep.
Have to. The other thing you have to do, if you haven't already, go get my playbook. Download the app. It's free on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Use the app. Use it. It is fabulous. It's got all the tools that you need to be successful here. You want to make last-minute switches to your lineup. You can set all of your lineups from all the different sites in one spot on my playbook. It's amazing. Not to mention the waiver wire tools. Not to mention all the tools that help analyze your team, help you get the best lineup out there you possibly can get as well. So again, my playbook, fantasypros.com/myplaybook. That's where you want to be. All right, next up here, Sergio Guerra, 84. Good morning. Actually, he says, good morning, Vietnam. There you go. A little Robin Williams throwback.
Robin Williams reference
on a Sunday. With Njoku out, are we okay with starting Evan Ingram against the Lions? Or do you have a better pivot? I'm okay with Ingram.
No,
depends on what the pivots are.
I'm perfectly okay with Ingram. I have Ingram at tight end 8 for the week. I'd
rather play Kmet than Ingram, but you're higher on Ingram than I am. So
I was just going to go there, Joe. I have Ingram at tight end 8, and I have Kmet at tight end 9. So
okay, here's another one.
Fantastic.
I've never heard from this one, but they're here every Sunday, according to them. Girthy Geese. Yeah. I like this name. Damian Pierce, Devonta Smith, or Christian Watson.
Oof.
I don't have a format to give you, but let's call it half PPR so no one's happy.
All right. So Pierce is the easy answer here.
I'm playing Christian Watson.
I
just think it's money in the bank.
was fixing to say if you're down or you need this.
I love when you're fixing to say something. It's my favorite. I wish I could get away with saying that phrase, and I can't. But it's my favorite thing. I love. In fact, I'm gonna do a shot.
Look, you get to have your Italian musings, and you go off on channels and rants and things like that.
I'm fixing to say, what does that entail when you fix to say something?
You prep it up, you make it nice, and then you say it.
But is the actual phrase the prepping of it, or is there extra prep, or the phrase is the prep? I just want to understand.
Joe, I don't have these answers for you. I don't have these answers for you. I don't.
Let's go to Millie C.
I kicked in. I don't have these answers that you seek, sir.
Millie C. You need 3.5 PPR. Damian Pierce, Jeff Wilson, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, DPJ. Damian Pierce is in. Brian Robinson is in.
Yep.
What do you want to go with the last one?
Ew.
I think it's Wilson, and I just hate my life, but fine.
It's Wilson, but yes, you don't like it. But I don't feel good about Najee today, man. Like, we still do not have news on that, and I'm waiting for news to break. Please let news break.
Let me tell you, whoever has the guts to start Jaylen Warren this week in DFS is going to get rewarded. I can tell you right now. I have that feeling in my bones, and I'm pissed off about it. And I don't have the guts to do it. But
speaking of breaking news, Deebo Samuel is going to play this week.
Mm-hmm. With quotations.
I wasn't quotations this time.
I'm telling you quotations.
Very highly likely to play
and possibly. Then to come out of said game. Yeah. Heather Mendez. Good morning, gents. Start Mariota, Watson, or White in the full PPR. The quarterback, what do you want to start here? You want to start? I think you want to start White, don't you?
I think you start Watson. I don't like it, but
oh no, I'm not doing this. Do you really think
it's between the two of them?
Do you think he has the mental fortitude for this game? Honestly, I don't know if he does.
Mm,
I think
I
I think this is a real conversation to have, and I think as I'm saying it, I continue to drop him in my rankings because I just don't know what we're gonna get out of. I think it's gonna. I think more than the if this was in Jacksonville, sure, but the fact that his first game back is in where it is in Texas, I don't know, man. This is the mental fortitude might not be there for this game. I'm
it's
playing Mike
tough,
White and
man.
I'm taking the points and getting out.
It's tough. And I have no problem with anybody playing Mike White. I think that if the problem that I have with Watson is that if he rushes for one touchdown of like 30 yards, even if he throws for just like a buck 50 and one, he's probably
You think that
really
still
close
outscores
to
Mike
top
White
12.
against Minnesota?
It could. I think that Mike White has a higher ceiling this week based off of, but he's going to have to go for like 280
Mhm.
and 2 or 3 touchdowns. I just look at like the rushing equity of Deshaun Watson, and that's the wild card where it's like he could not do much, but if he does enough on the ground, then he's probably sniffing the top 12 this week.
All right, let's get to our other question here. Pick two: Montgomery, Palmer, Pickens, or Burks. I go Pickens and Palmer in the PPR. You want to play
I
Montgomery though?
agree. I agree.
No, you know I'm surprised you didn't want to try to squeeze Montgomery in there.
I'm not
I'm
a
not a fan.
Montgomery person this week. He's not going to get as much volume as people think. With Fields back, if Fields runs, then Montgomery's rushing equity is also meh.
All right, I don't know. I'm gonna do my best with this next name. Most Shipsish. I don't know. It's just. Can you say it? Mos Chipshish. Mos Chipshish.
Mo, mo,
Mos Shipshish.
Mosipish?
I don't know.
Mosipfish?
PPC league.
Good
I don't know
lord.
what that means. I just don't trust. What's
Oh,
a
point per
PPC?
carry, baby.
Point per carry. Oh, that's what we're doing
Yeah,
here. But
yeah.
that's stupid.
Don't shade the league. Come on.
Wait, here's a point for
Jeez.
holding the football. What a stupid thing to do. Why are we rewarding that? Anyway, point per carry league. Of course, it's for Mosh Mish Mish Mish. I don't trust the Jackson, especially against Denver. Okay. Thinking of starting Lawrence over him this week. What are your thoughts?
I have no problem with that.
I have
I
no
have no
problem
problem with
starting
that.
Lawrence either.
Lamar
It's a good
Jackson
matchup.
has
Lawrence has
been
played well.
it's a sexy name, but what you've been getting has been low-end
Mhm.
QB1 production. Lawrence has shown you over the last 6 weeks that he can give you top 5, top 6 production. So, yeah, I have
And
no
Lawrence
problem
is
with
going to
that.
carry the football a bit. He's going to run a little bit too in this
He
game.
could. If there was any
Yeah.
matchup for him to run a good bit,
Mhm.
this is the one.
Nathan Burns. I absolutely appreciate the Fantasy Pros content. Well, thank you, Nathan. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you too.
Full PPR, pick one. Hunt, no. Jalen Warren,
No.
maybe. Julio Jones, Foster Moreau.
I'm going Warren.
I'm going Warren too. Let's go.
I'm going Warren.
Must Love Labs. Good morning, guys. Okay, so I must win to stay in the playoff contention. I have to start 3. Swift, Robinson, Wilson, Latavius Murray. Who's the odd man out in this group?
Latavius.
Agreed. You go
Stinky
in,
dust ball.
you
Get that guy out
go
of
and
your
you
lineup.
just you push all the chips in with Wilson, Robinson, and Swift, and you just say, screw you, Denver. Let's go. Norman Dankus, PPR with Jacobs game time at 425. A game time stat. He's not a game time decision, Jacobs. Where have we heard the game time decision? I have not heard that at all.
No, well, so a report came out this morning saying that he was going to work out pregame, and they were going to watch his workout. Basically, like they hope his workout pregame goes well, but that it's coming down to that. So I get where the layer of context here.
All right. So if Jacobs is no good, then do I go with Kirk against Detroit or hope that Jacobs or Debo play? Well, Kirk is a good option.
Go Kirk.
Debo, I would play Kirk over Debo right now, but
I would-
I've got to wait and be patient for Jacobs. I have to.
I mean, but what if this person sits Kirk and Jacobs is out? I guess, I mean, well, here's the other idea. Do you go pick up Zamir White right now
Yes.
and drop your kicker, and you could play a kicker in the late slate or Monday night,
Yeah.
and that way you're covered? That's the move I probably would make.
I would agree with that move. I think that's so you would pick up Zamir White, right? Not Abdullah.
Yeah, it's not Abdullah. I mean, like, Zamir White's going to get the early down work. Abdullah probably takes the passing down work, but it's the freaking Chargers. We want the early downs.
Yeah. Look, Jacobs' ceiling is so high against the Chargers this week.
That's high.
He's got so much money on the line too. You know, like, I don't know. This is,
Somebody's
think
gonna
he's
pay
gonna.
that, man.
I mean, I kind of feel like this is where we were at last week, and he had 200 yards, and we're all like, okay.
I will say I feel a little bit more iffy this week. I do feel like this week could be kind of a trap.
All right, that's fair. That is
Throw that out
that
there.
is fair. That is fair.
Coming
I
off the
hope
big
not.
game, we saw him play through injury. Now we're getting the same kind of narratives, and it's like I just get the feeling that this could be the game to bite us in the butt, and where it's like, okay, all the concerns of last week were justified. But again, I have nothing to go off of that. Just throwing it out
Okay.
there.
It's just the gut feeling. This is the interior gut. Let's go to Rohan Bardanoff. Start Pirine over Cook if Mixon misses. So
Yes.
Pirine over
Yes.
Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
Sarah Mullenbach. Rest of season, Jalen Warren or Zonovan Knight in a standard league.
Warren.
Agreed. Superman 210 2002. Mike Evans or Palmer in the full PPR.
If you need ceiling, it's Palmer. Evan, if
You need
Lattimore is
points,
playing,
it's Palmer. How about just points.
that's
And
fair.
Lamar or Fields, it's Fields for me, and it's not close.
Fields.
John W. For your consideration, start one quarterback this week. Fields, Dak, Geno.
Fields.
Jahan, hey pros, thanks again for all your help and being there every single weekend. Insert Bernie Sanders meme here. I am once again asking for your assistance. Pick 3. I saw an ornament of that online yesterday. I thought that was
That's awesome.
Pick 3, CPAT, B-Rob, P. Ryan, Swift, Gus Bus, Christian Watson. I want B-Rob. I want Watson. Right?
P. Ryan,
B-Rob, Watson. Yeah?
Yeah, I think you
Lot
could
of
make a
agreement
good
for us.
conversation for CPAT too, but I'm going B-Rob here. I think he's going to get 20 to 25 carries and score twice.
All right. Let's go to the next one here. Let's see. Let me pull up the question. We've got one from who is this here? Do we this one? Okay, so Graham F. Guys, he says, PPR need to Thielen, Peoples, or Deontay. Yikes.
Sit Deontay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Why? I just want to know.
What has he done all season besides be like a wide receiver 4 with a sexy name? He's done nothing all year. And this week, he's going to get a shadow from AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell has been quietly terrible this year, but the caveat to that is AJ Terrell has been extremely good in shadow coverage. So I think that Deontay is going to get wiped off the board. I think it's a big Pickens week. And Deontay, if you were to sit here and take the name away from the production and you were to look at what he's done all season long, you'd be like, well, hell no, I'm not playing Deontay.
Fair. It's fair. All right, let's go to the next one here. Brian McGowan, Big Blue, PPR, Patterson, Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, or Slayton, pick 2. By the way, we're also getting our boy Jameson Williams back for this game too, which is we haven't talked about it. I hope he has like a catch or two just so I can see.
I just want one long catch so everybody. I'm waiting for Twitter to just blow up and say, "Wow, Jameson Williams
he's really
is
good."
fast." Oh,
because the only guys
so
who
fast.
It's because a lot of people who do NFL fantasy football honestly don't watch any college stuff. They don't.
Sure.
They'll watch a little bit of like the tape, or they'll watch
around these
YouTube
parts.
highlights. You and I do especially
around these parts.
Yes, we love the college football stuff. And when you watch that guy on an every down basis, you know how special. I kept telling you, he's DeAndre Hopkins special. That's what he is. He's got the balance. He's got the hands. He makes these plays. You got like no one. How does he make this play? People forget how kind of toothpick and skinny DeAndre Hopkins was when he came in the league. He filled out eventually. I think Williams is going to be the same way.
My comp way back in the day from the NFL draft for Jameson Williams is he's Calvin Ridley with afterburners. That's what he is.
Oh, see, Calvin Ridley didn't, as good as Calvin Ridley is, he did not have that game-breaking, crazy freaking.
Jameson has
Hopkins that. Does. Hopkins
Jameson's
had that
an
too.
alpha.
Just a big play guy. Like he just had that. And you know what? I hope Mechie comes back healthy too, because I don't think that guy got enough credit how good of a receiver he was. And if Mechie comes back healthy and they get Bryce Young under center for the Texans next year, you get Mechie and Young and Nico and Damian Pierce, and you get some offensive line help.
It's a start
Start of things to come. All right, let's go to Luis Borgos. Fields or Lawrence? Fields. Just in EDC. Good morning, Fantasy Pros. Should I start Ayuk or Christian Watson in the flex in the full PPR?
Watson, baby.
It's very close, but Watson, I agree. Also, should I start P. Ryan or Antonio Gibson? I start P. Ryan.
P. Ryan. P. Ryan is an RB1. High-end
who's
RB1.
a wide receiver 1? Justin Jefferson. He's the wide receiver 1, and you, my friends, can get a Justin Jefferson autographed jersey. Thanks to our friends at pristineauction.com. Here's what you do. You're watching the stream already. Be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros. Like the stream. Drop a comment or question in the chat. That's all you got to do. Click that little bell till it goes ding for notifications. And then just like that, you are going to be entered to win this Justin Jefferson jersey from Pristine Auction. It's fantastic. And we come back from the board of Justin Jefferson. You'll see it must be game time, hat time for you. Why have we changed hats, Derek Brown?
It got cold in the office, man. I got no hair. Okay,
I thought this was a statement of Justin Jefferson being ice
shaking.
cold against Sauce Gardner or something goofy like that.
No, I'm shaking, dude. I'm like,
I think JJ is going to take Sauce to the woodshed today.
I think JJ is going to have a day, man. Like Justin Jefferson he's that dude.
And I love the sauce. Love the sauce.
Dude. Yeah, he's good.
I think the kid's going to have this is like a teachable moment.
Yeah, this is the welcome to the NFL moment for Sauce Gardner.
Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's go to Skilly. Morning, full PPR. I need 1 RB and a flex. Damian Pierce, Rashad White, Sutton, Pickens. I'm going Pierce and
Come on,
Pickens.
Do it. Yes, that's it.
Pierce and Pickens.
I'm with you.
Thanks, fellas. Do you know who I am? I'm Skilly. I made my bones when you were just FF cheerleaders. I like it. I love the reference. I get the reference, Skilly. You know the reference?
You're gonna have to explain it to me because I missed that
from
one.
The Godfather.
Oh, well, that's why Joe. All right, we're gonna have all right.
Mo Green.
Story time.
Mo Green says this to Michael Corleone.
Let's have story time here.
This is in Godfather Part 2 when Mo Green in Las Vegas and all this stuff. Actually, wait, this is in 1. Actually, I'm sorry. When he is starting to take over Las Vegas, Mo Green gets mad because it's Mo Green's. And I says, I made my bones when you were dating cheerleaders, he says to Michael Corleone. And then later, Michael Corleone has somebody shoot him in the eye. So there you go.
Well,
while he was on the massage table, which is
this is a safe space,
today,
Joe. This is a safe space, Joe. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to throw it out there that I've never seen any of the Godfather movies. Oh my God, Troy is mad. And Joe leaves the stream. All right, so today on D-Bro and Friends, that's it, boys. From Untamed, I need a W in 2 of the following: 1 PPR, Gus Bus, Traylon Burks, El Jefe, Floppy Foot ETN, Nico Collins, Gerald Everett. Hi, Joe. Welcome back.
We don't want to look at you anymore.
Gus Bus and ETN are the ones that I'm going with here, Joe. Now that I have firmly stomped on your soul, your hope, your dreams, your love for me,
I still love you. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, you hit me with the "I'm just disappointed" line. Don't parent me. Mm-hmm. Wow, that hurt, Dad. Golly. Jeez,
where are we at? Whose question are we at here?
We're at Falafel Fan. That's what we're on.
Fan. Oh, you skipped 2 questions. This is why you're not the host.
Okay, no.
All right, Falafel Fan. So it's Tyler
when the host
Boyd.
leaves the stream, I got to do something.
Well, when the other host admits in public on live television that they haven't seen The Godfather, that makes me upset. So you have some work to do so we could talk about it. You should see The Godfather. It's amazing. You will love it. You will love it. You'll love number 2 also. I wouldn't recommend wasting your life with 3, but 1 and 2, you really should see 1, especially. It's amazing. All right, let's go. The answer is Tyler Boyd, I assume. That's the answer you gave for Falafel?
No, we haven't got to Falafel.
It's DPJ, it's Tyler Boyd, and Drake London. It's Tyler Boyd.
Yes, it's Tyler Boyd. Okay. That's the answer for that one. Yes.
Let's go to Ben Brokaw's question. Good morning, guys. Full PPR, Pacheco or Jeff Wilson?
Oh, Jeff Wilson, but I don't feel good about it.
I don't either. I don't either.
Feel good about it.
I would agree. Ayuk, Olave, Pacheco, and Jeff Wilson in the flex.
I'm going Olave.
I'm with you. All right, let's go to Untamed. This is it, boys. I need a W. 2 of the following: 1 PPR, Gus Bus, Burks, El Jefe, Floppy Feet, ATN.
I already got this one. This is when you left the stream.
Okay.
Come on, host, catch up. Jeez.
Haven't seen The Godfather. Nick Joel, why do you guys keep saying the Vikings are a bad matchup for RBs?
Because they are.
Most RBs put up high numbers against them. What gives?
No, they don't.
This isn't a very high-end discussion here.
They
have some
don't.
stats
I'm
you'd like to
pulling
throw
up.
in,
I'm
Nick?
pulling up something to sit here and help this person out and to understand this. Hold on.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna help
outside of
Jennifer.
Dallas ripping them apart, they have not done. RBs have not done anything against them. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right,
What?
you pull up some more data.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hafner. Oh, look at that cutie person here. This is when the ratings go up, when the children come onto the show. There you go. Jennifer Hafner, would you play P. Ryan over Alvin Kamara? I would. I don't know what Derek Brown's going to say about this, but now that he is tended to the little one.
Sorry, dad mode. Go ahead.
No, you gotta do it. Would you play P. Ryan over Kamara? I would.
Yes, I'm playing P. Ryan. P. Ryan is a top 10 guy that I'll be rolling out this week.
Here's me. Now here's me over Alvin Kamara. See? Same guy.
All right. So let's get back to the
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Since week 7, Minnesota is 16th in rushing success rate. They are 7th in EPA per rush and 19th in explosive run rate. I'm not worried about Jets running backs versus the Vikings. I'm not.
Well, it's not running about Jets running backs, period. Divyesh, good morning. Love the show. Hawkinson, Schultz, Christian Watson, pick 2, half PPR, need to win to make the playoffs. Watson's in.
Yep.
I'm thinking Hawkinson. Hawkinson's getting a lot of attention lately.
I'm going Schultz.
I am mad at Schultz. I think that's very close. I would go Hawkinson. Don't think there's a wrong answer there. Will Mo, what's up, guys? Y'all are looking wonderful today. Well, thanks, Will. Do you start Jalen Warren, Pittman, Gus Bus, Sky Moore, Josh Kelly, or Samaje Perine? I'm starting Perine out of all those guys.
I'm starting Perine, and it's not even close to those.
All the Perine. Let's go.
Yep.
Perine time. Let's go to the next question here from Tammy McLeod. Good morning, y'all. I need to bring home that W today. I have Mixon as my RB1, but since he may not play, I need 2 in the full PPR. Gus Edwards, Elliott, McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, Perine. Perine in.
Perine is definitely in.
Elliott. I hate it.
I hate it, but I'm going to go Elliott just because he's going to flop into the end zone once. I know,
and I hate it, but I think it's going to.
I hate it.
It's going to be the place.
Hate it. But I agree.
Omar AMG, big fan. Who should I start? Jelani Woods or Austin Hooper?
Wolf.
I like Hooper today.
I'm going Woods. I don't want anything to do with
Hooper.
Hooper
Today. The one thing you could always say about the Eagles too, the linebackers are no good.
That's fair, but yeah, I mean it's fair. I'm not a Hooper guy.
They can't cover anybody. Nico Collins, good morning. The beautiful balds. Pickens, Kyron, or Jeff Wilson. Full PPR. I'm going Pickens.
We're going Pickens for ceiling, baby. Let's go.
Pickens. Matt Willman, need Joey P to sing a song for Derek. What song you want me to sing? Thanks for all the advice all season, guys. Chance to lock up the 1 seed this week. Half PPR.
Oh, you love to see that.
1.
The 1 seed, baby.
I know. Walker, CMC, Barkley, Chase, Waddle, St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb.
Look at this team. Oh, Lord.
I mean, look, this is a good question, actually, because you can either sit Barkley because of the matchup. You can sit Chase because he hasn't played, or you could sit Waddle because if you think it's going to be a Tyreek Hill day and not Waddle, this is a really tough one.
This is a really good team. I'm sitting Barkley. I think that you can make a better case to me to play Walker over Barkley, considering the Rams are without 2 of their starting defensive linemen, despite the matchup on paper, than you can with Barkley, who has seen declining efficiency. His offensive line is banged up. The Commanders are legit elite versus running backs. So yeah, it's Barkley. As crazy as that sounds, it's Barkley.
If it's not Barkley, I think Waddle's the other guy you can make the case for sitting.
I can't sit Waddle.
That game could underperform just as much as it could over.
I know your worries, but Dolphins are not going to be able to run.
It's the familiarity between the 2 guys. When you're familiar with each other, it's hard. It's like
well, Shanahan's going to get really familiar watching Tua just go. Phew.
That's fair. I don't think Barkley's a bad sit. Chase being the unknown is also worthy.
If we didn't have news about his snap count, I would agree wholeheartedly with Chase.
It's fine. Barkley certainly has the worst potential day. It's a half PPR, which is why I lean towards sitting one of the wide receivers, though.
So just
If it was
news hitting the
full, I would sit
timeline.
Barkley and be okay with it.
News hitting the timeline. Zay Jones is active. Darrell Henderson is inactive. So that does give more credence and bumps up ETN. Antonio Gibson is active. That's not a surprise. We've been kind of trending that way. I think there's still questions about whether, what his workload looks like this week, but he's active.
What song should I sing you, Derek Brown?
I think we just have to let it happen naturally, Joe.
Okay.
Because
I'll serenade you.
I don't want my disdain for whatever you decide to hum or sing to be planned, sir. I'd rather just
I just
want to vomit in my hat.
I feel like I understand the holidays are here. Everyone's very busy. It's football still going on here.
You're not going to
when everything is the dust is settled.
Don't do that.
I expect you to sit down for 2 hours and watch The Godfather, or 3 hours, however long it takes. It's worth it. You will not look.
You're not going to sit here and try to pitch it to me that The Godfather is a
I'll do one better. If everybody, we could do a live watch together on the YouTube channel. I will do that with you. I will sit there. We'll make a time. People can all watch together. We'll do a watch party of Derek finally watches The Godfather.
I'm fine with that.
Troy, are you okay with this? Troy, is Troy in on it? Can we get Troy for a couple hours to watch The Godfather with us? I bet we can. He's in. Troy, you've seen The Godfather, right?
Troy might turn in his pink slip if I don't watch it, considering his reaction earlier.
Well, I mean, it's like man card 101. You got to watch The Godfather. I mean, come on. How do you know how anything works in life if you don't watch The Godfather? That's just saying. Just saying.
Because I watch
Jen Richard.
I know how it works.
Morning, guys. Full PPR. Do I wait for the bad news to break or start P. Ryan and sit either Swift or White? I'm playing P. Ryan over all those guys.
You play P. Ryan.
You don't need the news either way. Like,
speaking of more
Mixon's
news
on the field. Oh, look, highly unlikely to play. No crap.
Speaking of more news,
Jerry highly unlikely to play.
Jerry Jeudy is active. Michael Carter is out. We already expected that, but just updating the people.
Yeah. Let's go to Exterminator, half PPR flex. Hard to trust Debo, Gibson, or Zonovan Knight. Shake my head. Grazie. Yes, it's hard to trust any of those guys in the flex. Play Debo.
Yeah. I can't trust Gibson. I think Zonovan Knight is in a bad matchup, and he's going to be dealing with a 3-way split. Good luck projecting that.
Does Mayor have I don't know if Mayor is involved right now with the stream currently, but we need a poll about The Godfather. If you've seen The Godfather, haven't seen The Godfather, I just want to see, just want to poll everybody. I understand it's an older movie.
I'm gonna get buried on this. I understand where that's going.
You might not. I'm actually giving you a lifeline.
Whatever. You're not. You're pulling the shovel out. That's all you're doing. You're trying to nicely pull the shovel out.
I'm a little older than you, not much, just a little. And I know that I'm Italian and from New York, so of course I've seen The Godfather. So I'm trying to see, I want the general tone of the audience if they've seen The Godfather. Because I don't know. It's an important movie.
No.
It's a great movie.
You know what? No.
I want to know. I want the poll up there. Have you seen The Godfather? Yes or no?
Exactly.
That's what I want.
You know how I feel about this poll? I feel like Joe Pesci being led into the office in Goodfellas, and people are going to bum rush him. So you've seen Goodfellas? Yes, I have seen Goodfellas. I've seen Goodfellas. But you haven't seen The Godfather. That's troubling.
Because
Goodfellas is awesome, dude.
Well, The Godfather's awesome too.
Well, so you say. I'll be the judge.
Goodfellas is great. Goodfellas also unravels and becomes a whole other movie for the last 35 minutes.
It does. It's so good.
Which is, I always say, the equivalent of being a parent of multiple children is sort of like living every day of the last 30 minutes of Goodfellas, where he's driving back and forth and he's got the sauce on the pot and he's trying to drive to this person and he's trying to make sure the girl takes
he's staring at the helicopter too?
Yeah, and he's staring at the helicopter, someone's chasing him. Like, that tension level is pretty much being a parent. Like, if you want to know what being a parent is,
that's real.
That is your life.
That's real.
That is your life.
That's real.
Clayton Otis, Joey P and D-Bro, full PPR, need to start one. Rashad White, Cordero Patterson, or Zonovan.
CPAT, baby. Let's go CPAT.
Agreed. Andrew Erickson Truther is back. Hey, guys.
Oh, the burner.
Hooper over Higbee this week in the PPR. Higbee scares me. Appreciate you guys.
Higbee's scary, but I'm not playing Hooper over him.
Enrico Palazzo. He's seen
John Wolford helps Higbee. I'll put it that way too.
That's fair. You guys are 100% the most entertaining fantasy show out there. Not even close.
Oh,
and that is review. Enrico, go drop a 5-star review of the podcast.
Please.
Everybody out, like the stream. Drop it. It helps. You know what? It sounds like a little stupid thing, but it actually means a lot.
Really
to
helps
the show.
It
If
does.
you haven't already, drop a review, like the stream, do those little tiny things, go to the podcast thing, say that stuff, because it really does make an impact on people finding the show and staying with the show and all that stuff. And we know you're with the show because we have grown immensely this year. And that is not an accident. It's because of all of you folks out there.
We never walk into any of this with a script, man. It's really just free flow. And
no,
honestly,
but we walk in prepared from 6 days of
That's fair.
think tank about this.
I'm just talking about the chemistry of me being random and you being insane. There's no preparation for that.
There's no preparation for finding out you didn't see The Godfather. So
no, I just felt like I would drop that on you this week. Early
Iron Mike.
There you go.
PPR flex, Jamal Williams, Sutton, or Cole Kmet. Yikes. Jamal. I know it's PPR and it's gross, but
still Jamal.
Raekwon, Debo, or Zay Jones?
Debo.
Blaze Naily, who to start in the flex? P. Ryan, Kirk, or Burks?
P. Ryan.
Agreed. Kirk is close, though.
Kirk is close,
That gave me
man.
pause. You were awful quick on the trigger on that one.
I mean, he's a top 10 running back. I'm going with a top 10 running back over a top 15 wide receiver.
All right, let's go to the next one here. We've got Gary, Justin Fields help. No one is looking at him this way. He's going to probably get sacked 3 times and hit once. I assume there's a 20% chance of he sits out 5+ minutes or more. Do you agree? They have to catch him first, Gary.
They got to catch him.
They have to catch him first. And it's not like the Packers defense is any good. Okay? I'm playing Justin Fields. That's it. Like, I'm not overthinking it. Here you go from Mike Mayer, straight from NFL Insider. Mike Mayer, active this week: Antonio Gibson, Judy, Sutton, ATN, Zay Jones, Darius Slayton, Antonio Gibson. Inactive: Michael Carter, Darrell Henderson, Kenny Galladay, Chase Young. Chase Young inactive. Oh, I was hoping we'd get him this week, but we didn't.
I think they want him for the stretch.
For the stretch, this is the week 13.
Same, man. Fully healthy. Fully healthy.
That's from NFL Insider Mike Mayer, by the way. You should all follow him on Twitter. He's legit. Let's go to Tyler Yentes. Good morning, pros. #1 sports podcast. You're right. Need help.
Love it.
Start 2. Najee, Pierce, P. Ryan, B. Rob. I'm going P. Ryan and Pierce.
Yep. Agreed.
B. Rob is close, but not close.
B. Rob is close. B. Rob is close.
Zach Zulo. Good morning, my favorite bald boys. Must win to get in. Pick 2 PPR. Jameson Williams, Paris Campbell, Curtis Samuel, Mostert, Corey Davis. All right, here we go.
All right. I got
Paris
it, baby.
Campbell is in.
We're going Paris, and we're going Corey Davis.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know it. I talked about it on the Start Sit show, baby. Like, I'm going to back it up.
Tom Wolf, fiction to say is the same as I was going to say or I was about to say. I know what it means.
Thank you, Tom. No, I think Joe needs this education. It's okay. Joe, take your medicine. It's okay. It's okay. I know it doesn't taste good, but you still got to
I just want to know if the fixin to say is the actual fixin or if there's more preparation.
Take your medicine. It's okay. It's okay.
So, all right. Garoppolo or McCaffrey in the flex?
Superflex, I'm going Garoppolo.
I'd play McCaffrey still. Tumek. Hi guys, need one. Who would you Garoppolo is just limited to a certain extent.
That's fair. That's fair.
McCaffrey's
put it this way. I don't think you're going wrong with either decision. I'll throw that out there.
They're probably both going to be around 20 points. Yep. Tumek. Hi guys, need one more win. Who would you play today? Deontay Johnson, Tyler Boyd, Corey Davis, Nico Collins.
Boyd,
I agreed. And then Mostert or Hasty. This is the Raheem Mostert revenge game. They've got so many guys on the Dolphins. I'm playing Hasty.
I'm playing Hasty. It's close, but I'll play Hasty.
Jorge Alfonso Sopevera, Sadena, Pittman, Kyle Allen, or Watson. Pick one in the standard. I gotta play Keenan Allen still, as much as I love.
It's
Watson.
Keenan Allen. He's a wide receiver 1. Yep.
Bananas. Good morning, Joe and D-Bro. You guys are the best Fantasy Pros. Team is 100%. I'm 9-3. There you go. PPR, Zay Jones, B. Rob, or Najee in the flex.
B. Rob, baby.
B. Rob. Vulcan 900. I miss tags. I miss him too, Vulcan.
Miss him too, baby.
But Joey P is good too. But you're all right.
I feel like there's a small slight there, but I love you too, Vulcan.
AJ Dillon or Mike Evans in the half PPR?
Evans floor, Dillon ceiling.
Lil Shouty Spice is back.
Oh,
I
no,
love that
don't
Lil
do that.
Shouty Spice is always here
No.
because I get to say Lil Shouty Spice.
No.
Hey guys, happy
No.
Sunday. I'm sitting 4th out of 12th and I have 3 wide receivers out next week. So I need to pick up a win or I need to pick up someone for the next week. I guess Duvernay, DeAndre Carter, Collins, Van Jefferson. I haven't looked at next week's matchups yet, but my gut
on.
tells me I'm looking at Carter and Duvernay as being the top 2 guys I want out of this group.
I'm pulling up next week's matchups real fast, and we're gonna roll through this.
Because I don't think we're gonna get Mike Williams next week either. I just don't think we're gonna get Mike Williams. Like I just
Okay, so Duvernay, Carter. I'm not playing Duvernay. I'm gonna say that. I cannot trust
so
him.
Carter.
You
playing
Carter,
Van Jefferson? You gotta pick him up. I like where Lil Shouty Spice's head's at, because Lil Shouty Spice is looking ahead and saying, before I go to waivers, a bunch of these guys are just sitting there. I might as well get a couple of them for next week anyway and not have to spend any fab, which is genius. That's how you win leagues. Take a lesson from Lil Shouty Spice.
So I'm actually going to go off the board here and go with Van Jefferson. And I bring
That's
this
not
up.
a terrible choice.
They play the Raiders next week, whereas you're looking at DeAndre Carter gets the Dolphins, which people are going to say the Dolphins are going to match up. Their corners are playing a lot better over the last 4 weeks. And the Houston Texans get the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, I'm going to go Van Jefferson here.
Okay. Next here up on the stream is Marv. I can't believe I'm asking this. Start Zonovan Knight over Alvin Kamara this week.
No.
I'm not going to bro you only because Alvin Kamara has been so bad.
Yeah.
It's the only reason you're missing a bro here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd bro you hard.
It's really close, but yes, I agree.
GA, D-Bro hasn't watched The Godfather? ? Joe, please answer this only. My boys, I love you guys. Sutton or Slayton in the full PPR. He's joking. He's joking. Sutton or Slayton today? I think he still plays Sutton. As terrible as
I think you go Sutton, as nasty as it is.
And then the full again, this doesn't matter. Dak or Fields?
Fields.
Dak is look.
Fields.
If you are in any way concerned about re-injury, I get that. I understand all that situation. The only thing I would say to this, Dak is not a bad pivot to Fields this week.
No, he's not. He's not. But Dallas has gone so run heavy. It's taken away Dak's ultimate ceiling. You're going to be hating the fact of when Dak goes for 25 and then Fields goes for 35, and you're like, oh crap, I should have played Fields.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. All right, let's go to the next one here. Let's see, Yoshimitsu.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
There you go.
Flex play in the half PPR. Jamal Williams or Christian Watson? I want Watson. How about you?
Watson, baby.
And happy Sunday to you, Yoshimitsu. Red AG. That's like saying you've never seen any of the Friday movies. Sheesh, D-Bro, you're killing me, brother. Have you seen any of the Friday movies?
I've seen all of the Friday movies. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll have a confession then, since you're being. I have never seen the Friday.
Any of them?
No.
None?
No.
What?
I don't know why. It just never happened for some reason. I don't know. Missed it.
Then you need to also come out and say that you don't understand any Debo joke that's ever been made with any of the memes from Friday. That also needs to be mentioned on this stream.
I'm a big John Witherspoon fan. I like John Witherspoon in Boomerang, one of the great performances of all time.
Joe.
With his mushroom vest.
Joe.
Coordinate.
If you hadn't seen Friday 2 or whatever other sequel,
you can't go by Friday to The Godfather. But I will make a pact with you.
I'm not comparing it. I'm really shocked.
In January, I will watch Friday, start to finish. I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched it straight.
Oh, now, here we go. I've seen
I'm keeping it real,
I'm just
bro.
gonna say I haven't seen any of the Godfather movies. None. Not a second. Not a minute. None.
Well, that's not one you can watch bits and pieces of. You'll be completely lost. So anyway, Commodore football, D-Bro, where'd the Jameson Williams passion go? When should he be unleashed? We have the passion.
My passion has not gone anywhere. Thank you very much. My passion is firmly right here. But him playing unlimited snaps is what gives me the problem. I don't think he's going to be unleashed this week. I think that you're looking at this as a ramp up. Now, could that happen next week or the week after? Sure. I think he is a fantastic stash for the playoffs, considering that now we see him active. So the passion has gone nowhere. I'm just being real about it.
I think that's good. I think that's exactly where it should be. Where do you have Samaje Perine ranked right now?
Are it top 10?
I got him at 15. I don't know if that was.
Oof, go up. I have him at RB9.
I can't get that high. I can't get that high. I can't do it. This is why he's better in the rankings than me. I can't do it. Let's go to the next one here.
So-
Rob Halliday. Yo, bros. Pick 3. Pickens, Burks, Zay Jones, Slayton, Jeff Wilson. Thanks, you guys. I'm tied for first. So
Yes.
Pickens in. Pickens is in. You get 2 more.
Pickens is in.
Full
And
PPR.
then it's Jeff Wilson and I'm gonna go Zay.
I agree. I would not be surprised if Burks ends up being good today, but I don't think it's.
Don't be surprised.
I don't think on paper it's the right call.
So Joe,
yes, dear.
Samaje Perine has been the RB2 and the RB10 over the last 2 weeks. Would you like to amend your Perine ranking?
All right. Okay, I can get him to.
He's been a top 10 running back over the last 2 weeks as the starter.
All right. What do you have him at? 10?
I have him at RB9.
All right.
I'm being aggressive. I'm
going to
throw it out there.
Yeah, you are. Is being aggressive.
I'm being aggressive. I'm playing Perine over Jonathan Taylor. I'm playing Perine over Dalvin.
Well, I'm playing him
Cook
in
and
DFS
Alvin
all over
Kamara.
the place, but that's different.
Yeah, it's different
pricing.
I'm just being clear about the RB
No,
ones that
it's-
I'm playing Samaje
it's
Perine
good.
over.
It's
He's
good.
top 10.
Also, through 700 votes here, 65% of people, according to NFL Insider Mike Mayer, have seen The Godfather. So 65 to 35, which honestly, that percentage surprises me just a tad.
That's not
because,
surprising.
well, I don't know about the youth of America. I have no idea what they're being taught.
we have really smart youths around here, okay, and they know that look like you don't have to go back to see The Godfather to be really love cinema. It's okay.
Well, look, I will watch Friday start to finish in January, and you will watch The Godfather. And
I
then
can't
we will
believe that we're
convene.
making the distinction between The Godfather and Friday. Like I love Friday, but
it's
still.
funny because that's the one movie, and it's funny because recently too, there's been a couple nights where I was like looking for something funny. I was like, I should really watch Friday start to finish and see what
It's so
start to
good.
finish it. I know, I'm sure it is.
So good.
All right, let's go to Cowan
So many
Science. You
quotables,
guys
dude.
are the best. Thanks, Cowan. Need 2 RBs, 1 flex. Cook, Perine, Pierce, Patterson, Debo, DPJ, Zonovan Knight, Zeke Elliott, Jefferson. Yes, I have
Shush.
seen The Godfather, and I'm troubled for Derek Brown.
Everybody is. It seems to be the continuing theme of the stream. Look, it's a safe
Theme of the
space,
stream.
people. I'm just throwing
2
out,
RBs. So I'm going Perine. I want Perine
Agreed.
and Pierce.
Wow, you're playing Pierce over Dalvin Cook?
I'm going to play Cook at the flex.
Okay.
I'm playing all RBs. Group.
I think that you go all RBs as well. I think, and it's
Three for
agreed.
you?
It's Perine, Pierce, and Cook.
Elliott is intriguing, but I got to
mean,
play Cook over him still.
Elliott's versus these options. Elliott's not intriguing. Elliott's a dust ball to me.
Nick Myers, Tig Ol' Biddies.
Oh dear Lord.
Full PPR.
I can't believe
Gotta
it. Oh,
bench
God.
one. Montgomery, Kamara, Jamal Williams, Mike Evans, Pittman, Pickens.
Okay,
Who's
Burgundy.
the odd man out?
I
think it's
can't believe you
Pittman.
just burgundied that. Okay, bench one. Yeah,
It's a South Park reference. That's
I'm
why
gonna
I like
go.
it.
I'm gonna go.
I'm a sucker
Pittman.
for a South Park reference.
I'm gonna go Pittman.
Pittman. John Nelson, top of the morning, Baldy Bros, full PPR, Metcalf or Pollard in the flex.
Woof. Pollard.
Matt Sanchez. Good morning, gentlemen. I need help. Brian Robinson or Zay Jones, full PPR. Thanks, guys. Brian Robinson.
Oh,
want the
Brian
touches.
Robinson. B-Rob, baby.
The other thing I want is I want monkeys. I want monkeys with knives in their hands, and I want them playing DFS. That's what I want. So today, I want you to go check out Monkey Knife Fight. No math, no salary caps, no sharks, just daily fantasy player props. That's it. First $5 first game on us when you sign up today at monkeyknifefight.com using the promo code FantasyPros. 100% instant deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. monkeyknifefight.com. Fantasy Pros, one word. That's what you do. Monkeys fighting with knives. Props. I like all those things. I mean, all that sounds awesome.
That is a professional transition. Didn't know where you were going with that one, Joe, but that's why they pay the big bucks, baby.
If nothing else, I'm professional. Austin Wilhelm.
Well, that's a
Hey,
stretch.
pros, bros. Would you guys? I'm sorry. You guys are the best. Thank you, Austin. Godwin or Damian Pierce?
Godwin.
I like that we got 700 votes. already because we're in week 13. That means we've got at least a couple thousand people still watching this bad boy. Love it. Kroll the Warrior Princess.
Just to bury me for my movie takes.
Well,
But hell,
the
take it.
burying continues here. Hi, Joe Pisapia and friends. No, oh god, it was so.
Do you
good.
see Troy like full body laughing in the backstage?
So good on Thursday when I got. I was going to open the entire show that way.
He's laughing so hard at that. That's
I
awesome.
might do it next Thursday. I might just say, welcome in everybody to Joe Pisapia and friends.
No,
This is the Fantasy Football Podcast.
Don't do that.
No week 13 question since you do such a great job all week. Who is the best stash? DeAndre Carter, James Cook, DJ Chark, or Sky Moore? It's James Cook for me.
It's James Cook.
It ain't close.
Yeah,
the worm is turned in Buffalo.
Yep.
The worm is turned. Yep. Dan, morning bearded buddies, Jalen Warren or James Robinson today? I'm going Warren.
Let's go Warren.
Tatiana Fitzgibbons, half PPR. That's a great name.
I love that name.
2.
Great name.
Gus, Pittman, Swift, Jamal.
And Swift.
Yes. I finally got you on the Swift wagon. I'm so excited.
You sound like that guy off of ESPN, the bowling guy. Who is that guy? It's me.
Oh, Pete Weber.
It's me.
Yeah. Pete Weber. He does the RVD thing. I've seen that guy. Shelby Mertens. Good morning. So I hoard RBs. I love the confessions here.
Like it.
Full PPR, pick 2. Jamal Williams, Swift, P. Ryan, B. Rob, Gus Bus, Rashad White.
B. Rob is definitely in.
P. Ryan,
B. Rob for me.
P. Ryan and B. Rob?
Yep. That's where I'm going.
I like P. Ryan and Swift, but P. Ryan and B. Rob is safer. Philly or Tampa Bay defense this week? Gross.
Philly.
I'd go Philly too, but I don't love it. George Byrer. Hey boys, love the streams. Full PPR, DeAndre Swift, Brian Robinson, Zonovan Knight. Also Hayden Hurst or Foster Moreau. This is close this week because of the total.
B-Rob. B-Rob and Moreau.
Okay. OG1 Kenobi. Need a win in the half PPR. Nice. What do I do in the flex? Gus Edwards, Nico Collins, DeAndre Carter.
Gus.
Agreed. Thanks for all the great work, by the way. And talking to Chris behind the scenes, but really it's Troy today. Troy's our Sunday man.
They're both
I don't know what Chris does on Sunday. What does he do? He's doing the betting pros stream. He's running something else.
He rests.
He rests on Sunday.
Yeah, he rests.
And on the 7th day, Chris rests. Good luck with that. Chris, I want you to know Debro thinks you rest on Sunday. Kristen Bell, which I can only assume is the real Kristen Bell too.
Of course.
Of Frozen fame and many other fabulous. Love The Good Place, by the way. Kristen was great in that. Also, that's a show worth watching. Very good. For those of you looking for, if only 4 seasons, go through it. My kids got me into it. Love it. Should I start Saquon Barkley or Travis Etienne this week?
Barkley floor, Etienne ceiling.
I agree. I'm going with Travis Etienne though because I love the total. I'm a little afraid of that Washington Commanders D. Eddie Spaghetti, flex Cordero Patterson, Najee Harris, or Isaiah Pacheco.
Patterson.
Greg Norris, Sherlock Homefinder. This is all one. That's his name. Greg Norris, Sherlock Homefinder. Good morning. Quick question here. Need a big win this week and full PPR. One flex, Pittman, Sutton, Deontay Johnson. Gross. I'm playing Sutton, and I hate that.
Sutton.
You made me say I hate it. Peer of the King. Hi, guys. Derek, I love your beard. I'm on the last playoff spot and want to defend that. Can you pick 2 for me? RB2 in the flex. Pollard, Etienne, Pacheco, White, Pickens. It's Pollard and Etienne.
Yep.
Jungle Rumbler. Joey P rocking the throwback eyes on. Yeah, that's right. This is
you're not pointing to the right shoulder.
It's the opposite today. That's right. Little old school. Chris Jackson. Good morning, my fellow Baldies. You guys have been my vice for 4 years. Are you starting Burks, Thielen, Sutton in the full PPR? Hashtag Team Friday from Chris Jackson. I think he's still starting Sutton.
Yikes. You're still starting Sutton, but you don't feel good about it.
I've had to recommend Sutton way too much on the stream today.
I know. I was fixing to say I've taken the wind out of my
sails.
way too much. It makes
really
me sad.
I don't care for it at all. It's no good. All right, let's go to the next one. And by the way, that's awesome because Chris has been here for 4 years.
Love it.
Which means that Chris has seen a lot of different incarnations of the show in the last 4 years. And the fact that you're still here, Chris, I appreciate that. I know some
Really
people don't
appreciate
like
it.
change. They hate change. If it's different, I don't like it just because it's different. That's not a good enough reason. You got to give things a chance. Like Derek Brown has to give The Godfather a chance. All right, let's get to the next one here. It is Joe Alverson, pick 2. PPR, Damian Pierce, Rashad White, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens. Pickens and Pierce.
Yes, agreed.
Chris Hunter, 3 choices, standard league. If I lose this week, I'm likely out for the playoffs and coming to Derek Brown's house. And no, I'm sorry, that last part.
Oh, it's tested in there. It's okay. You read it right.
Carr
Okay.
or Cousins.
Oof, yuck. Carr.
I like Carr this week.
Carr.
Hawkinson or Schultz.
Schultz.
I say Hawkinson. Gibson. Ayuk. There you go. So we agree on Ayuk, we agree on Carr, we disagree on Hawkinson and Schultz. D. Graham, hi fellas. Treylon Burks or Cortland Sutton? Half PPR. So many Sutton calls today. I hate it so bad.
Sutton,
so bad.
But it is.
But Darius Slay is so good and Treylon's so young. I just can't.
I think it's gonna be a Robert Woods game. I wrote that up in the primer.
I think it is too. I hate that.
I hate that.
Cortland Sutton. Kevin McBride. D-Bro, I knew it was you. You broke my heart.
Okay, I haven't seen The Godfather, and I even got that reference. Okay,
well, you have to watch the second one to get that far. You don't even get that in number 1. You broke my heart, Fredo. I have met Al Pacino, by the way, twice, and he is tiny, giant head, enormous head. Like if he is 5'4", it's a lot.
So he's like a walking cake. He's like a walking cake pop.
Well, a lot of movie stars have big giant heads that I've met in my life. A lot of them big giant heads. But Al Pacino, massive cranium.
So he needs a big hat. That's all I heard.
Huge hat. Kyron or Jeff Wilson in the flex. My God, this is hard. It's like choosing between your children.
I'm gonna go Jeff Wilson, although I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel good about it either, but you got to play Jeff Wilson there.
Yeah.
Mitch Pancost. Mitch Pancost. Pick 2, full PPR. Swift, Knight, Gus Edwards, Jeff Wilson. I'm playing Gus and I'm playing Swift, and I'm not looking back.
I'm gonna go Hefe, and I'm gonna go Swift.
Okay, Life and Laughs, which is I think what hangs somewhere in Derek Brown's office. He's got like a Live, Laugh, Love poster somewhere. Make me an offer I can't refuse. There we go. Murray, Edwards, or Kyron Williams. I'll sleep with the fishes if I lose.
Let's go Kyron.
Really? Over Gus Bus? No.
It's close, man. Oh, no. We didn't see that. Oh, it's in PPR?
I don't care if it's point per carry, that other stupid thing from earlier.
Don't go back to that.
And Gus Edwards. You're not playing Kyron Williams over Gus Edwards. How dare you?
Fine.
You must be stopped.
I thought you were going to do like a Schwarzenegger. I thought you were going Schwarzenegger with that one.
No, it's too late in the stream for new impressions. The monkey jockey. Najee, Elijah Moore, Jameson Williams in the flex. Full PPR. I don't think Najee's going to play. That's my problem.
I don't think Najee's going to play, but for now you have to go with him. The other guys are not going to play full-time snaps.
Thanks for your support. Germany loves you, by the way.
Oh,
there you go.
Love it.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people in Germany. I didn't realize fantasy football was so big there. I think it's really cool that they cook a game out there. I think that's awesome, man. Love it. Alex Campo, should I start Dak or Justin Fields? Justin Fields.
Fields, baby.
Jesse Fishbaum, start 1 in the half PPR. Tyler Boyd, Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Jones Jr. I'm starting Boyd. Play the total. Christopher E. Good morning, full PPR. Who should I start in the flex? Keenan Allen or Tony Pollard?
Allen.
And he says, Godfather is an American classic. Yes, it is. It's a classic. It's a movie about a family more than anything. That's what it's about.
That's what you're going with? Okay, fine.
That's the truth. That's what it is. Dave Murdoch, nice hat, D-Bro. Should I start Kareem Hunt over Latavius Murray because of the matchup? I say no.
No.
Kareem Hunt has shown you nothing.
By the way, breaking news. Josh Jacobs is active. He will play today.
Told you. By the way, have you seen the Friday movies? 70% of people have seen it over the 65% of the Godfather.
So look at that. Friday's more popular than the Godfather.
I know. I told you. It's one of those things where I just never saw it start to finish. It was always on, but it was always like on TBS, and I never wanted to watch it that way. I figured I was missing a lot if I watched it that way. Correct?
You are.
Okay, so I wanted to like sit down and actually watch it. I never just did that. I will.
Okay,
You know
fine.
what? I might even do it this week.
I've never allotted the
Maybe do it
time
this
for
week.
Godfather, I guess, and now I have to since this is a safe space
Well,
and I'm
your
admitting
life will be
truths.
better off for it. Last one
Yeah,
here.
we'll see.
Alex says, Merry Christmas. Pick two B Rob, P Ryan, Debo. And thanks for everything you guys do. Y'all been a big help this year.
Thanks,
I'm
Alex.
playing P Ryan and I'm playing B Rob. I don't
Agreed.
trust Debo.
Agreed.
There you have it. You know who I do trust? I trust Tera Roberts, and she's going to take it
Same.
through the next hour. She's coming in here right now. Don't forget to like the stream if you enjoyed the last 90 minutes of fantasy football and fun. And don't forget to subscribe to Fantasy Pros right now. Subscribe, drop a question, comment in the chat. That's how you win the Justin Jefferson jersey. Have a great day of football, everybody. That'll do it for me and Debro. Stay tuned for Tera Roberts up next with more of answering your questions here on Fantasy Pros.
What's up, everyone? Tera Roberts here with Fantasy Pros. I'm with you for the next hour, taking your start sit questions. Before I dive in, I do want to mention a little promo we got going on with the Monkey Knife Fight. Monkey Knife Fight. No math, no salary caps, no sharks, just daily fantasy player props. Free $5 first game for new signups using the promo code Fantasy Pros and a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit, but only when you join the fight at monkeyknifefight.com. That is an amazing deal. Go take advantage of it. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and dive into the questions here. First question from Alvin Munwar. Hi from Pakistan. Hello from Pakistan. What's up? Do I play Justin Fields or Tom Brady? Also, Zay Jones or Mike Evans? This one is, so the first one is easy for me. The first one is Justin Fields for sure. I'm 100% okay with going with Justin Fields today over Tom Brady. I know there is the risk of re-injury. He gets hit the wrong way, but that risk exists with every single player every single week. So I am going with the guy with the far higher upside in Justin Fields. And then Zay Jones and Mike Evans. This one is a little bit tough for me here because I really like Zay Jones this week, but it's tough to start Zay Jones under Mike Evans under any circumstance, with the exception of a circumstance when he's playing New Orleans. He really struggles with Marshawn Lattimore. Unfortunately, we have this as a Monday night game, and we don't know 100% whether or not Marshawn Lattimore is going to play this week. So I'm willing to risk it that he is not going to play and that we're going to get Mike Evans in a matchup without him, which would be very advantageous and maybe give a little bit credence to a nice bounce back game here for Mike Evans. He has been a little, not ugly, but average over the past several weeks, unfortunately. But I do see this as an opportunity for him to bounce back if Lattimore does not play. So I lean towards going with Mike Evans over Zay Jones, even though I do love myself some Zay Jones for sure. Next question from Philip Garrettson. Full PPR, pick one, Kyron Williams, Antonio Gibson, Leonard Fournette, or Jalen Warren. I know it's disgusting. Well, at this point of the season, a lot of us are starting absolutely disgusting running backs. No offense to those guys in real life, but in fantasy football, it's not a pretty grouping right there. Full PPR, and that makes it a little bit interesting because in full PPR, we know we get that pass catching upside advantage for Antonio Gibson and Jalen Warren as well. These are all guys that are in committees. So it's just kind of trying to figure out which committee has the higher upside play. And I lean towards the higher upside being Antonio Gibson. Not a bad matchup here, a good opportunity for him, especially in PPR. And I think he can get into that nice, safe RB2 range, come somewhere between mid to low end RB2, and do okay for you right there. So I lean towards going with Antonio Gibson as the least risky option of that ugly committee grouping of running backs. Next question from Charlie Herrera. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too as well. This is a must win for Charlie. All right. Would you be opposed to picking up Marvin Jones against the Lions and start him over Slayton or Lazard? If not, who do I start? I'm still going to start Lazard. I would not be if it wasn't Lazard. If it was, am I picking up Marvin Jones to start over Darius Slayton? I could get behind that. I could. Even though we once again have absolutely no wide receivers other than Darius Slayton that will be available for the Giants, unfortunately. But I still trust Allen Lazard, especially in this matchup right here, because if you look at Allen Lazard, the problem that we've had with him over the past several weeks, aside from the fact that we've obviously got this massive Christian Watson breakout, but the big issue here is that Allen Lazard has been getting the tough matchups and these defensive matchups where we have shut down corners like Trayvon Diggs, and he just hasn't been able to overcome them. But when I look at the Chicago defense, I don't really see anybody that's going to latch on and lock him down. So I think this is an opportunity for him to have a little bit of a bounce back game. So I'm not going to risk it and go with Marvin Jones over Lazard. I'm going to stick it out with Allen Lazard. Next question from Silky. Good morning. 6 point per passing touchdown in full PPR. First part is Burrow or Fields, and then the second part is two running backs needed from between Montgomery, Fournette, and Gus Edwards. This one is interesting because Burrow and Fields are pretty close for me. It depends on if you need a super high upside swinger, you want to go with the safer option. I think given the matchup with Kansas City, I think this is a decently safe matchup for Joe Burrow. I don't dislike him in this game. We could see, we could very well see a very high point total. He gets Jamar Chase back. His offense is going to look a lot more like the offense that we saw get going decently well before Chase went down. And we've got Justin Fields, who obviously, Green Bay, it's an okay matchup. It's better for running backs, but obviously it's Justin Fields. He can obviously just run over the Green Bay Packers defense, and that's the possibility. But we do have the re-injury possibility. I'm not as concerned about it, but when I look at Joe Burrow, it's just the much safer option, especially in a 6 point per touchdown league. That's the differentiating factor right there. That 6 point per passing touchdown makes me lean towards Joe Burrow for you. And then with the running backs, David Montgomery, you have to lock in for sure. So it leaves you between Fournette and Edwards in a full PPR. And in full PPR, I can see where you want to go with Fournette, but we still don't have 100% confirmation on what his workload will be if he's active. So I lean towards going with Gus Edwards as the safe option for you. So go with Joe Burrow and Gus Edwards. Next question from Matt Rementer. Dameon Pierce, Zay Jones, or Nico Collins. Of that grouping, I think, go with Nico Collins. And it's really tough there because you've got, and it depends on if it's PPR, half PPR, standard. If it's a standard league, obviously I'm going to lean towards Dameon Pierce. But if it's a full PPR league, you got to go with one of the wide receivers there just because of the way that Pierce has been performing, even though it is a good matchup against Cleveland. But between Zay Jones and Nico Collins is going to be the wide receiver one and the only wide receiver option in that game, where they're probably going to have to chase some points to keep up with Deshaun Watson. So I like Nico Collins this week as a very safe floor with a high upside swing that maybe now that there's no Brandon Cooks this week, we can see that breakout performance that I've been just salivating, waiting on for Nico Collins. So I like him here in this matchup. Next question from Thomas the Fod Gather. Good morning. Full PPR. Pick 3. Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Ezekiel Elliott, Jeff Wilson. Changing my lineup every minute help. I get why and I do that too. I will go back and forth on certain players all the time. The guy that I am not concerned about in this matchup is going to be Zeke. crazy enough. The volume has been there for Zeke in his return. He has the goal line opportunities. Jerry Jones will not let them pivot away from Zeke. So he's honestly the safest option of this grouping. And then when we got full PPR, that helps me lean towards Jeff Wilson. If this was a standard league, even maybe a half PPR, I could go with Pacheco. I could go with Brian Robinson. Those are two very solid options. But Jeff Wilson does have the pass catching upside. So I lean towards Zeke and Jeff Wilson. And then we got to choose between Brian Robinson and Isaiah Pacheco. And it's going to be Isaiah Pacheco who has the higher upside in this matchup. Cincinnati is a tough matchup defensively, but Pacheco has been electric on the ground. And I think his upside is just a little bit higher than Brian Robinson, and the backfield belongs to him just a little bit more. So Pacheco, Zeke, and Wilson for you. All right, next question from Ed McShane. Happy holidays. PPR Flex, Gus Edwards, Brian Robinson, Christian Watson, Josh Palmer. Oh, several of my favorites there. If we are just picking one, though, it's Christian Watson. I mean, he is on such a hot streak. It's hard to sit Palmer. It's in PPR. It's just so tough. But Christian Watson has been amazing. You stick it out, you ride it out, and I do like him in this matchup against Chicago. It's a good spot for Aaron Rodgers and Christian Watson. Next question from Anthony. Good morning, Tera. Need the win to secure a playoff spot. PPR, Barkley, or ETN at running back. And then either Garrett Wilson or Devonta Smith at flex. I'll answer the wide receivers first. It's Garrett Wilson for me for sure. I like this as a bounce back game for Devonta Smith. I like this matchup against Tennessee. You don't want to run the ball on them. You want to throw the ball on them. But this is A.J. Brown's revenge game, so if there's going to be a touchdown opportunity, his boy Jalen Hurts is going to pull and push that over to A.J. Brown. And then the running backs, Barkley and ETN at running back. I love ETN in this matchup, I'm going to stick it out with Saquon Barkley. Pure volume is there. We know he is healthy. We don't know that 100% with Travis Etienne, although he is going to play, so don't worry about that. But I lean towards Saquon Barkley as the guy that just has the higher upside opportunity. Even though Etienne has the better matchup, Barkley is just the far safer option. Next question from Trisha R. Hurts or Tua? That one is super close. I'm still going with Jalen Hurts over Tua. It's tough to pivot away from Tua just because of the incredible hot streak that he has been on. Last week doesn't really count because, he didn't really get to play a full game. So we got to knock that one out. But Jalen Hurts, again, I just talked about Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. This is a good passing matchup. And last week we saw the Eagles rely aggressively on the ground game. This week I think they pivot, avoid trying to penetrate that aggressive run defense for Tennessee and try to attack through the air. They're vulnerable through the air, and this is a good matchup for Jalen Hurts. Next question from David Dennison. Good morning. Love the show. Full PPR. Please pick one. Rachaad White or Jeff Wilson Jr. It's going to be Jeff Wilson Jr. Now, it's not the best matchup in the world, and neither is Rachaad White's matchup the best matchup in the world. Either New Orleans defense has been up and down, but they typically have been stronger on the ground against the run. But again, when I look at Jeff Wilson, I see him as the guy who is going to dominate this backfield, even though Raheem Mostert is coming back. So we do have Raheem Mostert coming back, but I like him to continue to lead this backfield because he took over even when Mostert was healthy. This should be a fun game. It should be a close game. There should be plenty of opportunities. This is not going to be a runaway for either team. And as long as this game stays close, I think that Jeff Wilson continues to thrive on the ground and through the air as well. So I lean towards going with Jeff Wilson over Rachaad White, who might have Leonard Fournette back, and we don't really have a lot of clarity in terms of who will truly have the upside in that backfield. I think it's White, but we don't have that clarity, and we have that clarity with Jeff Wilson. Next question from Josh Word. Morning, Tera. Love your advice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Half PPR, pick two. Najee, Swift, Gibson, White, or Kyren. Half PPR makes it difficult to trust Kyren Williams. So I'm going to nix him out right there. And then we've got Najee, Swift, and we're picking two. So we've got Najee, Swift, Gibson, and White. So again, we've got all these guys that are in these committee type situations because Najee is going to have to contend with Jaylen Warren, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, Gibson, Brian Robinson, White, Leonard Fournette. So I think in this situation, you kind of got to go with the better matchup. And that leans me towards saying, one, we got to go with Najee. Pittsburgh is playing Atlanta. Everyone and their mother has literally obliterated Atlanta on the ground. So it's hard to pivot away, even if we've got Jaylen Warren coming in and taking 40, 50% of those snaps. I still like Najee in this matchup to be able to run over that Atlanta defense. So we lean towards Najee. And then between Swift, Gibson, and White, I think I want to take the chance right here and go with Swift. It's been shaky. It has been a shaky season for Swift, but we're feeling like he's finally healthy as Swift can be. And we're in a superior matchup. And that's what we're going to look at, these matchups for these guys. Who's got the best matchups? Because they're all in committees. So we're looking at very similar options. They're all pass catching running backs. Very similar options, but Swift is in the better matchup. He's healthy. This could be an opportunity for him to finally break over that 10-point fantasy ceiling, which is crazy. That 10-point fantasy ceiling in PPR that he's had. So we're going with Swift and Najee. Next question from Matt Rementer. Hey, Damian Pierce, Zay Jones, or Nico Collins? Oh, man. Again, on that one, it's going to be Nico Collins for me. By the way, guys, before I jump over to the next questions, I want to remind you, as always, we do have a jersey giveaway going on, and I know you don't want to miss on that. If you want a chance to win a signed Justin Jefferson Minnesota Vikings jersey, courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction, you need to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below on this video, this one right here, and that's it. We will be announcing the winner in the next hour. So this is your last chance to enter and win, and stick around. Stick around because I will be on this live all the way up through kickoff, and we will be announcing the winner later in the show. So make sure that you stick around here. Around 15 minutes before kickoff is when I will announce it. All right, jumping back to the questions from Bruce Noark. Happy week 13. Full PPR. Need one running back and need one RB2 between Najee and Gus Edwards. Again, especially in full PPR, it does make it easier to make this decision. But while the backfield is solely Gus Edwards' backfield, and I like that, when I am looking at PPR, I'm still going to lean towards Najee Harris, even in that split backfield, because, again, of the good matchup that he has with Atlanta. So I think the higher upside does exist with Najee Harris, and the floor is very similar as well. So we're going with Najee as your RB2, and then as your wide receiver 2, you're deciding between Higgins with your quarterback as Joe Burrow and Christian Kirk. I get why this is tough because we've got Jamar Chase coming back, and we've also got a fantastic matchup for Christian Kirk. But you got to stick it out with T. Higgins. Even with Jamar Chase coming back, Higgins has been fantastic even when they have both been on the field. So go for sure with T. Higgins, even though I love Christian Kirk in this matchup. And then the last one here, the last question for Bruce. Last question here for Bruce. Cowboys or Ravens DST? Does one have the edge or a coin flip? Yeah, this one is more of a little bit, it's tough to not play the Cowboys defense. I get why it's more of a coin flip. And Matt Ryan, he can throw some interceptions there too. But I still want to play the Baltimore defense because, again, when we look at Russell Wilson in that offense, it's just been a complete mess. I don't see it getting any better. I'm okay with swinging for the upside of the Baltimore defense that has been improving in a good matchup. That's the way that I want to go, although I do like Dallas's defense, but it's going to be Baltimore for me. Next question from Uncle Drew. Start 3, bench 1 between Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Travis Etienne. That is tough. That is tough. I think you have to, unfortunately, you got to bench Travis Etienne. And the only reason for it, it's not anything. It's a good matchup. It's not any negative thing on him. It's just that you've got 3 high upside healthy options. Why take the risk of going with Travis Etienne, who has been dealing with an injury, and maybe he can re-injure it throughout the game? And you just could have gone ahead and gone with any one of those options that are in a good spot. So go with the first 3. Go with Tyreek, Garrett Wilson, and St. Brown, and sit Travis Etienne, unfortunately. Next question from Gilberto Aguilera. Cortland Sutton, DeAndre Swift, or Gus Edwards at flex, standard league. Ooh, standard league. So Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy is coming back. Now, we don't know how much he is coming back. We don't know the degree to which he will be involved, but him being back for Denver when already a shaky offense just makes me a little bit concerned about Cortland Sutton, because we've seen when Jerry Jeudy plays that Cortland Sutton takes a back seat, and he has just not had any upside whatsoever. And you're in a standard league. Can we really count on a Cortland Sutton touchdown? I don't think we can. You got to go with Gus Edwards. Next question from Della D. Hi, Tara. Enjoy your show. In standard league, need a running back and wide receiver help. Pick 2 running backs between Aaron Jones, Samaje Perine, Cordero Patterson, and DeAndre Swift. I see why that is tough. But we are going with Aaron Jones for sure. I like this matchup for Aaron Jones, and we're going with Samaje Perine. Joe Mixon, unlikely to clear concussion protocol. We're going to trust that that is the case, and we are going with Samaje Perine in what should be a good matchup for him against Kansas City. And then at wide receiver, need one wide receiver between Chris Godwin and Garrett Wilson. I love Garrett Wilson for sure. I love this matchup for him, and I love Mike White in this matchup as well, but we got to go with Chris Godwin. He is on an absolute tear right here. It's not the most ideal matchup in the world, but the volume is so high, and he's been incredibly productive with it. So lean towards Chris Godwin, who is on a roll there. Next question from Eric Dixon. Good morning. Need help with a tight end. Harrison Bryant or Tyler Conklin? I've gotten this question a couple of times because people are rolling with, not in David Njoku out. People are rolling with Harrison Bryant as a streaming option, and he's not a bad streaming option at all. But I just talked about the way that I feel about Mike White and Garrett Wilson in that matchup, and I kind of feel similarly for Tyler Conklin. This is a good spot for him to have a nice I say bounce back, but it's been several weeks. A nice several week bounce back performance here for him. So I like Tyler Conklin to have some upside in this game. And we don't 100% know what the preferences of Deshaun Watson are really going to be. If he's going to lead on the tight end position, or is he just going to go aggressively with Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones? And then we've got Nick Chubb as well that is going to dominate on the ground. There's so many mouths to feed over there in that Cleveland offense, and we don't 100% know which ones are going to get fed. I lean towards the safety of knowing that Tyler Conklin is going to have some decent involvement in this game, and it's a good matchup with Minnesota. Next question from El Ray Adams. Hey, Tara, Jimmy G, Watson, or Fields. Oh, yes. Okay, Jimmy G, Watson, or Fields. I'm getting used to seeing Watson's name and not thinking Christian Watson. This is going to be a transition for me because my mind is Christian Watson 24/7 when I see that. Jimmy G, Christian, or just Deshaun Watson, or Justin Fields. It's Justin Fields for me. When I'm looking, and we're getting a lot of Deshaun Watson questions today, and I think he's a fine low-end QB1. But when I look at guys like, let's say, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, those are guys, Jalen Hurts, all guys that I want to start over Deshaun Watson. Once I kind of make that transition over is when you start to get into that Tom Brady, that Kirk Cousins area. Those are guys where it's saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and swing for the upside with Deshaun on that one. But when it comes to Justin Fields, I'm rolling with Justin Fields over Deshaun Watson this week. So go with Justin Fields. And then you need 3 between Christian Kirk, Scary Terry, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Cortland Sutton. Let's go ahead and nix out Cortland Sutton for me. I said it's a nix out situation across the board in most situations for me with Cortland Sutton, unfortunately. So that leaves us with Christian Kirk, Scary Terry, Juju. And yeah. 1, 2, 3. There you go. You're nixing out Cortland Sutton in that grouping. All right. Next question from Lawrence Bryant. Good morning. Full PPR, Watson or Lamar? Lamar is one of those guys who I am playing over Watson. And then at running back, pick 2 and then 1 flex. Between Barkley, Elliott, Jamal Williams, Pacheco, Rashad White, and Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, quite honestly, you kind of got them in my order of preference there, except for maybe switching Jamal and Ezekiel Elliott. The running backs that I would want to go with, and you're in full PPR, right? Yep, you're in full PPR. I would want to go with Barkley and Elliott, and then I will flex Jamal Williams. I like Isaiah Pacheco again in full PPR. I pivot away most of the time. Split backfield with Rashad White, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones. Again, while I love him, we got to see the connection with Deshaun Watson. So lean with the first 3 guys. Next question from John Nelson. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, and we enjoy having you here. We enjoy everyone watching the show, and your questions are always fantastic. So thank you so much for always tuning in. Trying to clinch the playoffs, pick 2 in full PPR Superflex. Ooh. All right. Justin Fields. Yeah, or Captain Kirk. And then Saquon Barkley and Travis Etienne. It's Fields for me. Y'all know how I feel about Justin Fields. I'm willing to risk it with the re-injury situation because the upside is just so incredibly high with him. So it is Justin Fields for me. And then between Barkley and Etienne, full PPR, it makes it difficult because this is a super good matchup for Travis Etienne. Obviously, he could go off and you'll be kicking yourself if he's on the bench, but Saquon Barkley is the guy that I lean towards in this matchup. I just prefer Saquon Barkley. I know the volume for him for sure. And it's not even a health thing. I just know exactly what I can get from Saquon Barkley. And unfortunately with Travis Etienne, this is a really good matchup through the air. So this could be a Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk, Zay Jones type of game, Evan Ingram type of game. And Travis Etienne, there are multiple scenarios where he can get left out behind. There's no scenario where Barkley can get left out behind, so I lean towards Saquon Barkley. Question from Muhammad Ahmed. Gallup, Van Jefferson, or Chase Claypool PPR league? while I find Chase Claypool a little mildly interesting in DFS, I am not willing to risk it with him in season-long leagues. And then Van Jefferson, unfortunately, he's the wide receiver 1 in that offense, but I don't know how I feel about John Wolford, and it's not the most ideal situation over there. So I lean towards going with Michael Gallup as the safest option. Next question from Anthony Bazzetti. Morning, pick 3, Vampire League, half PPR. Jonathan Taylor, Jamar Chase, Kenneth Walker, Dalvin Cook, or Christian McCaffrey? Honestly, I don't know if I would risk it with Jamar Chase given what you have. I'm feeling comfortable with Christian McCaffrey, hoping that maybe there's going to be a little bit less restrictions on him. Yeah, is that the right way to say it? There are a little bit less restrictions on him with Elijah Mitchell out. And maybe they feel like they have to get this win. It's an important matchup for Kyle Shanahan. He wants to win this. And if there's a situation where he's not going to hold McCaffrey back, that'll be it. Then I would want to go with Jonathan Taylor as well. And then it's between Dalvin Cook and Kenneth Walker. And I actually do really like Kenneth Walker in this matchup. I know it's a little bit different, but we've got a lot of injuries on that LA defense. Aaron Donald is out. So this is not the staunch difficult matchup that it typically is for the LA Rams. So Kenneth Walker could have a huge game here going off against this injured defense. So I lean towards going with Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, and Christian McCaffrey. But if you want to get risky, if you do want to get risky and you want to trust Jamar Chase, then go with Jamar Chase over Kenneth Walker. Next question from Guillermo Cubas. Hi, Tara. Please help. PPR, Fournette, AJ Dillon, Gus Edwards, Kareem Hunt, Ty Johnson, Jeff Wilson need 2. I still like Jeff Wilson despite the fact that it is a bad matchup. I get why a lot of fantasy analysts are very concerned about him in this matchup. But when I look at this, I think I talked about him earlier in this live. I feel like he, again, has just truly taken over this backfield. And while Raheem Mostert will be involved, I feel like the preference leans towards Jeff Wilson. So I'm okay with going with Jeff Wilson. And then, honestly, I feel more comfortable, even in PPR, going with Gus Edwards over Leonard Fournette. I know what I'm getting out of Gus Edwards. I know what I'm not getting out of Gus Edwards. And I know that Leonard Fournette he does have the pass catching upside for PPR, but it's such a murky situation there with him and Rachaad White. And I still think that Rachaad White has taken over in that backfield. I think the preference is going to go towards him. He has looked better. I'm not willing to risk it. I'm going to stick with what I know with Gus Edwards and that 10 to 15 fantasy points. I know that man can get me, and then go with Jeff Wilson as well. Next question from Jan Letterhaus. Good morning. Full PPR, flex. Dameon Pierce or Josh Palmer, and then Tampa Bay or San Francisco defense. So for the defense, for sure, I'm going to lean towards Tampa Bay. And then between Dameon Pierce and Josh Palmer, I like the matchup for Dameon Pierce. This could be a bounce back opportunity. I'm not, I'm trusting him-ish, but I like Josh Palmer. I cannot pass up pass catchers in this matchup with Las Vegas. I feel like if we leave any of them out, they're all going off. Every single one of them. So go with Josh Palmer in the fantastic matchup against this Las Vegas defense. Next question from Brian Christensen. Good morning. Half point PPR. Rashad White or Isaiah Pacheco for flex. Half point PPR makes it a little bit easier to go with Isaiah Pacheco over Rashad White. Again, we don't know the split between Rashad White and Leonard Fournette, and I lean towards, I'll have a little visit from my kid who wants me to open up a candy bar a granola bar for him. Not a crazy mom. I'm not going to give him a candy bar this early in the morning. All right. We're leaning towards going with Isaiah Pacheco in flex because, again, it's half point PPR, so we get a little bit more of a boost there. And I do feel like a touchdown opportunity is coming for him in this game. Next question from Elray Adams. Jimmy G. Watson or Fields? Did I do this one? I think I did this one before. Yeah. This one we are going with Justin Fields, and we are going with Christian Kirk, Scary Terry, and Juju. Next question from Cesar Navarez. Must win week. All right. Oh, thank you. Appreciate the comment. Pick 3, full PPR, DPJ, Hefe, Van Jefferson, and Isaiah Pacheco, Sky Moore, and Jalen Warren. Ugly. It's not so bad. Now, full PPR and you need a win. You might need to take some liberties here. You might need to go with Isaiah Pacheco as a guy who, again, is at least going to get you some stability in the floor. We're going to try and combine stability with upside for you to get this win. So the stability of the 3 that we were choosing is Isaiah Pacheco. Even in full PPR, there's going to be a good floor that he can get you, a good 10 fantasy points that you can rely on to get out of him. Then we're going to go and shoot a little higher with Donovan Peoples-Jones as someone who I think could have a nice, we don't know for sure, but Deshaun Watson coming back, the Houston defense is also without their top cornerback, Derek Stingley. So they're going to be more vulnerable. We saw that last week to where they're typically, really difficult against the pass. But we saw Miami jump up aggressively very early. And I think that could happen again here. So I'm okay with going with DPJ. And then Hefe, I'm assuming Jeff Wilson is the third option that I would go with. There's upside there. I like the matchup. And you hate to lean on revenge game narratives, but this is kind of a weird revenge game narrative where you've got a guy coming back to a team he was just with. He freshly remembers exactly how you want to attack that defense. So I lean towards going with Jeff Wilson. Next question from Sheesh. Juju, Palmer, Ayuk. I have Mahomes at quarterback. Do I stack? Yeah, and even if you didn't have Mahomes at quarterback, honestly, I'm okay with going with Juju regardless because I think the Juju last week, that was more of an anomaly game. Against Cincinnati, we're going to see them get back to more of that typical Kansas City offense that we've seen in the past, where Juju has been a guy that's gotten 20-plus fantasy points on a fairly regular basis in PPR. So I'm comfortable with this being a nice bounce-back game for Juju in a good matchup where there's going to be high volume from both sides. Next question from Never Go Full Jeff. Welcome back. Love your username. So, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? FYI, you already got me locked into one playoff spot. Nice. Let's go. Let's keep going. Keep the hot streak going. In between Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, this one is super tough for me. I am going with Justin Fields. You're locked into the playoffs, so that's good. So I want you to kind of shoot for the moon here and maybe see if you can inch closer to maybe getting a bye. And I think the way that you do that is with Justin Fields. And it's tough because I love Trevor Lawrence in this matchup. He is definitely an easy top 10 quarterback for me for sure. Sitting around that, I don't have it up, but around that 8 range maybe. But Justin Fields is just above him for me. I'm going to stick it out because I do think we can get a lot of Justin Fields on the ground this week as well against the Packers. That's where they're vulnerable. So we're leaning towards going with Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence. Sadly. Question from Mike Yu. Go Tigers. Yes, go Tigers. Oh, good win last night. We needed that. That was good. Nice little bounce back there. Wish we had beat Carolina. Maybe things would be looking a little bit different, but I don't know if we were really a contender for the playoffs anyway. But, I digress. Go Tigers. In need of one RB and one flex, half PPR. Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Christian Watson, and Zonovan Knight. Half PPR, again, does make it a little interesting. I'm not pivoting away from Christian Watson, so that is your flex option for sure. And then at running back, we're looking at Isaiah Pacheco or Brian Robinson, and I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco over Brian Robinson. Very similar running backs, and Pacheco doesn't have to contend with someone taking a little bit of work on the ground because Antonio Gibson is going to be active today. It would be Brian Robinson if Antonio Gibson wasn't active, but we're going Pacheco in the running back position and Christian Watson in the flex position. Emilio full PPR, Tua or Lawrence. It's Tua for me. Love Trevor. I wish y'all gonna give me something where I could answer Trevor. Like throw me a Tom Brady and Trevor Lawrence. I'll say Trevor Lawrence for sure. But I'm going with Tua over Trevor Lawrence because it is Tua and he has been on an absolute roll. Question from Kyle Springs. Must win. Pick 2. Full PPR. Mike Evans, Zay Jones, Jeff Wilson, Rashad White. I hate that we don't 100% know what's going on and whether or not Marshawn Lattimore is going to play because that would really affect how we feel about Mike Evans. But we're going to take some liberties here. We're going to assume that he is not going to play. He is questionable right now. It's looking a little iffy. And so we're going to lean towards Mike Evans. And then between Zay Jones, Jeff Wilson, and Rashad White, the safest option, in my opinion, is to go with Jeff Wilson. Now, Zay Jones is on a hot streak. So if you need some upside in your must win and you have to, maybe you're in a difficult matchup where you have to shoot for the moon, you can go with Zay Jones. But I still like Jeff Wilson. So I would go with Mike Evans and Jeff Wilson. Next question from Corey Tufar. Good morning. This dumpster is starting at my trash team. The dumpster is staring at my trash team. Half PPR. Pick 2. Sanders, Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Adam Thielen, Leonard Fournette. Ooh, okay. We'll attack that one before we attack the standard one. And we have to pick 2. Now, I've been off of Miles Sanders this week just because the matchup with Tennessee is so ugly. I don't think that they're going to attack aggressively on the ground, but he is the most stable option of this group, and especially in half PPR. Now, he got 3 receptions last week, and that was fantastic, but he typically doesn't see those on a regular basis, and I don't know if he will this week. So I lean towards going with Miles Sanders, considering that it is half PPR. And then between Rashad White, Brian Robinson, and Adam Thielen, I get a little bit concerned with Adam Thielen and that, the potential lack of volume there. So I lean towards going with Brian Robinson for you in half PPR. So it is Miles Sanders and Brian Robinson that we are going with. Fournette and Rashad White, it's just a kind of a sticky situation there that we don't know too much about their split. So go with Brian Robinson and Miles Sanders. And then Standard League, AJ Dillon, Christian Watson, Swift or Gus Bus. Go with Gus Bus. Now, I like Christian Watson. Obviously, he's been on an incredible tear with touchdowns. You could go with, if you need the upside swing, you could go with Christian Watson. But Gus is the safe option if you need to make sure that you don't get blanked. So go with Gus Edwards. But if you really, really need that upside play, go with Christian Watson. Next question from Ryan Wick. One. Do I wait it out to see if Mixon plays or not? Nope, don't wait it out. Assume right now that Mixon is not going to play. We've heard enough. We've heard enough in terms of it being doubtful, no positive news, unlikely, not looking good, all of that stuff, all of the language that makes us feel like we can't wait it out. So I lean towards going with between Devonta Smith, Damian Pierce, and Isaiah Pacheco in half PPR. Even though it's half PPR, I still lean towards going with Devonta Smith again. I like this as a good opportunity for him against Tennessee where they could see a little bit more pass volume pushed from Jalen Hurts. Next question from Aflac. Help, Najee, Cordero, Zeke, Josh Palmer, Brandon Ayuk, Zay Jones, Terry McLaurin, Kyron Williams. Need 3 to pick for my flex and 1 running back. Okay, let's tackle the running back first here. The running back for me is going to be Zeke. Yes, he is in a committee-ish with Pollard, but he gets the more valuable touches. He gets those goal line touches. He's been very reliable. And quite frankly, he's looked good. All right. So we're going with Zeke at running back. And then for your flex, you need 3 for your flex. So we go Terry McLaurin, Josh Palmer, and then Brandon Ayuk is the guy that I want to go with as the third one. Yes. It's tough not to include Najee in there because he has a fantastic matchup against Atlanta, and I do like Cordero as well, but it's a difficult matchup against Pittsburgh. So I kind of am a little bit wary of those two guys right there. So the ones I lean towards are Josh Palmer, Brandon Ayuk, and Scary Terry. Next question from Ace 0534. Prescott or White, full PPR. I'm still going with Prescott. I do like Mike White, but the thing about Mike White, and we saw this last year, we saw, fantastic game, crash game. And it's very possible that that's the situation. So if you have to take a massive upside swing and you need a streaming option, or you're doing DFS or something, Mike White is a guy you can look at. But when you've got Dak Prescott, just go with the safe option. Don't risk it. Go with Dak. Next question from Joshua Brooks. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you as well. Got a lineup question. Gus the Bus versus Denver. Yeah, it's a tough matchup. And Alvin Kamara against Tampa Bay. Samaje Perine against Kansas City. Non-PPR, pick 2. I wish it was pick 1, because if it was pick 1, I was about to jump up and say Samaje Perine right now. Do it. So Samaje Perine for sure. And then it's a really tough decision in terms of, are we going with Gus or Alvin Kamara? But it's non-PPR. We haven't seen a touchdown from Najee since that, week 7, 8, something like that, where he had that massive boom game of 3 touchdowns and we saw nothing since. So we got to lean towards going with Gus the Bus. So we're going Gus the Bus and Samaje Perine. Next question from Matt Wagner. Deontay Johnson or MVS? We are going with Deontay Johnson in full PPR. It's Atlanta, so this could be a nice uptick in volume for Kenny Pickett, and Deontay Johnson could benefit off of that. So I don't dislike Deontay Johnson this week. He's not someone that I typically like to go with, but I am okay with him in this matchup. Next question from Joe Doja. Good day. Need help. PPR with Mixon out. So pick 2 between Kamara, Pacheco, Sanders, and Zonovan. Okay, so let's do Sanders for sure. Again, is a nice stable floor option. And then, I'm going to assume this is PPR. If it's PPR, I'm still going with Alvin Kamara. So we'll go with Alvin Kamara and Miles Sanders. If it's half PPR or standard, then I'm okay with going with Isaiah Pacheco and Miles Sanders. Next question from Keatsian. Pick 1. Curtis Samuel, Higbee, Taysom, Foster Moreau, or Ty Johnson, PPR. Okay, flex. Got it. Flex option for tight end premium. Makes sense now. All right. If this, I'm not feeling very comfortable with Curtis Samuel. He hasn't been very productive. And you've got some options right there at tight end who have some boom potential. And I think the one who has the highest boom potential for you that could really pay off this week is going to be Foster Moreau. So Foster Moreau is the guy that I would go with over all of those other options in a tight end premium league. This is a good matchup for him against the against the LA Chargers. And this game between them and the Chargers, I feel like this could be a really good high upside play for literally everyone in the offense, but especially for him. If they can move the ball up and down the field very well, this is an opportunity where I think that Moreau is going to really get an increase in maybe some little red zone opportunities for him that he hasn't seen in a while. So I lean towards Moreau. Next question from Joseph Kowalski. What do you think about Jameson Williams as a waiver wire pickup? I am in on Jameson Williams as a waiver wire pickup. I'm not in on starting him. I've seen a few people thinking, hey, do I go ahead and start him? I get wary of that. I mean, we've got some weeks left. So there's still some opportunity where if you pick him up, you could be able to use him, maybe not even next week, but a little bit further on down the line. And the thing that I get worried about with playing him this week is that it's going to take a little bit of time for him to grow some rapport with Jared Goff, because this is a weird situation where we've got a rookie that spent his entire offseason rehabbing. He hasn't had the time to grow a rapport with Jared Goff. So while he's extremely talented, I would pick him up, sit him on my bench. I would not be playing him, unfortunately. Next question from the Mojo Dojo, half PPR, 12-team PPR. So for half PPR, 12-team league, Tua or Dak, and then Gus Edwards or Samaje Perine in flex. So even in half PPR, I'm still going with, let's start off with the running backs. I'm still going with Samaje Perine over Gus Edwards. I just love this matchup for him. I think the upside is high. We've seen him have, massive games over the past 2 weeks, even before Samaje Perine was going out, when he was catching those touchdown passes from Joe Burrow. So I lean towards going with Samaje Perine, and then quarterback, Tua or Dak. We're still going with Tua over Dak. Now, granted, Dak is in the better matchup. Tua is in the tougher matchup, but I like the possibility of this Miami defense being able to pick, or this Miami offense being able to pick apart the San Francisco defense because of what their head coach knows. So I'm still okay with going with Tua and the vast majority of Miami players as well. Before I move on to the next questions, guys, I am going to do the jersey giveaway after I take a sip of water. So get ready. All right, let's go ahead and announce the winner here. The winner of the autographed Justin Jefferson Minnesota Vikings jersey, courtesy of pristineauction.com, is Anthony DeVito. Congratulations, Anthony DeVito. Please get in touch with our customer support agents at mailbag@fantasypros.com with your mailing address and proof of your subscription to the Fantasy Pros channel, and we will get that jersey shipped out to you. Again, the winner is Anthony DeVito. Congratulations on your brand new Justin Jefferson jersey. It's going to look beautiful. Congratulations on that one. I want one. I'm going to have to buy one. All right. Next question. Jumping back over. Question from Cynthia. Keenan Allen or Travis Etienne PPR? I'm going with Keenan Allen. Again, we talked about Travis Etienne earlier. This is an excellent matchup for him. He does have high upside, but this is a really good matchup for Keenan Allen too, and Keenan Allen is healthy right now. Cross our fingers. I shouldn't have said that, right? But Keenan Allen is doing good right now, and I just think the upside for him and the floor is a lot safer in PPR for him as well. Next question from Amanda Handa. Half PPR, start 2, Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Traylon Burks, George Pickens. Half PPR. All right. Well, I'm still going with Terry McLaurin again. It's tough for me to bench Terry McLaurin. He's one of those players. There are certain wide receivers that, like A.J. Brown is one of them as well. There are certain wide receivers where they are a little bit shakier in terms of their floor. And you just got to go through it. You can't really predict, hey, this is going to be a week where he only gets me 8 fantasy points versus this is going to be a game where he gets me 28 fantasy points. So I lean towards just consistently staying the course with Terry McLaurin. So I am including him. And then deciding between Antonio Gibson, Traylon Burks, and George Pickens. Let's go ahead and knock out Antonio Gibson just because of that committee and coming off of the injury as well. So between Traylon Burks and George Pickens, this one is super, super close. But we're going to go with the guy who has the superior matchup in George Pickens. This is a good matchup for George Pickens, Pittsburgh against Atlanta. Kenny Pickett has an opportunity here to have a little bit of a mini breakout performance and a good matchup that everyone has been able to take advantage of. So go with George Pickens. Next question from Demetrius Bones. Help, Najee Patterson, Gus Edwards, RB2 in a standard league. Oh, okay. Standard league for sure. We're going Gus Edwards. We know what we're getting out of him. And then between Najee and Cordell Patterson, this one is very interesting. And we're going to lean towards going with Najee Harris in this one. Najee is in the superior matchup for sure. And then Cordell Patterson, again, the Pittsburgh defense has really improved with the return of TJ Watt. So unfortunately, we're going to lean towards going with Najee Harris and Cordell Patterson. Then next question, we have got Wyatt Safranik. Good morning, half PPR. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, we're going to have a visit from... All right, sorry, guys. Half PPR. Okay, there we go. Solved. Half PPR. Traylon Burks or Samaje Perine. We're going with... Calm down, buddy. Calm down. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Let me start the question over so I can make sure I get this perfect for you. Riot Safratic, good morning. Half PPR, Taylor or P. Ryan? We are going with Taylor. It's not the best matchup in the world for Taylor, unfortunately, but he is the bell cow, and the offense is going to run through him. P. Ryan does have to contend with a lot of great wide receivers in that offense. So although it is the superior matchup, I'm still more comfortable going with Jonathan Taylor over Samaje P. Ryan. Or you can play both running backs and sit one of A.J. Brown or T. Higgins or Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nope, just go ahead and go with Jonathan Taylor and play all three of your top tier running backs in A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, or your top three wide receivers in A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then question from Sweet Dreams. Happy holidays, PPR Flex, Isaiah Pacheco, Ezekiel Elliott, Jameson Williams, Traylon Burks. Have you seen The Godfather? I haven't, and I kind of got the tail end of that conversation there with the guys before I came on. I have not seen The Godfather. That is awful, right? That I have not seen The Godfather, and I need to. But for me, I've missed a lot of those kind of classic movies. Like literally just here, I just watched Top Gun. I should be ashamed of myself, but yeah, I need to have like a movie binge day or something. All right. So back to the question, got distracted by the Godfather question. In PPR. Okay. He's just going to hang on my shoulders, and that's cool. In PPR, Isaiah Pacheco, Ezekiel Elliott, Jameson Williams, Traylon Burks. If we're picking one of those guys, I'm still going to lean towards going with Ezekiel Elliott is the safest option. I like Traylon Burks. I want to go with Traylon Burks, but just the comfort level with Ezekiel Elliott is so much stronger. He's a guy that you have to lean towards. And thank you for the comment, Axe. I appreciate that.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes this one right here, he loves to pop in on shows in particular. He's a very sensitive child. Yes. All right. Next question from Alvin Munawar. Hey, do I play Justin Fields or Tom Brady? Yes. There we go. Justin Fields over Tom Brady. I don't dislike Tom Brady this week. I think he can still have a decent matchup against New Orleans, but Justin Fields is the better option in my opinion. Next question from... Oh, and then the second part of that question is Zay Jones or Mike Evans. We're still going to go with Mike Evans over Zay Jones. I know it's appealing to want to go with Zay Jones. He is coming off of two fantastic performances. But Mike Evans is still the much safer option to go with. Next question from... My kid just took my light. Next question from Marcus Janelle. Oh, strength of schedule. Debo or Brian Robinson. Okay, I want to make sure I get this right for you. Give me 1 second just to kind of take a quick look right there because I don't have it right off the top of my head. Debo and Brian Robinson. More than likely, I'm going to lean towards Debo Samuel. But again, let's see. Does one of those include the... Yeah, so we've got Tampa Bay, Seattle, Washington, Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And then with Brian Robinson, we've got... Well, strength of schedule, and of course, there's also a bye week in there for Washington. We've got two matchups with the Giants. The Giants have been kind of up and down. They've got a lot of injuries. I still lean towards the strength of schedule being a little bit better with Brian Robinson. Things have been a little bit shaky in terms of some of those defensive matchups, but I think that the Giants can pull it together, and it's going to be a little bit tougher for him. So Debo Samuel is going to have the easier road ahead. Appreciate the comments, guys. The parenting comments. Oh, man. He comes in here. He wants to participate. Maybe he's going to be a little YouTube streamer one day since he's obviously wanting to set up the camera and do his own show. All right. Next question from... And thank you for the comment, B-Turn. Really appreciate it. Next question from Half Geeks burner account, Samaje P. Ryan. Dalvin Cook. I don't know if I get that. I'm with you on that. Dalvin Cook is one that I've struggled with this week because unfortunately it's not a good matchup. If the Jets have been strong with anything, they have been a strong defensive play. So I'm with you. I think this is a situation where you can start Samaje P. Ryan over Dalvin Cook and feel good about it. Next question from Jacob Hyatt. Love you having your son on the show. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Next question from you is Najee or Travis Etienne in half PPR. I'm still gonna go with Travis Etienne. Now, I talked about Najee earlier, and the fact that I do really like Najee in this matchup against Atlanta. I think it's one where both Najee and Jalen can really thrive, honestly. But I lean towards going with Travis Etienne in the superior matchup. Even in half PPR, he does have that pass catching upside that we like to see. Now he's got the ring light on. Kids and technology. He learned how to turn it on, and now he's trying to put it on the stand. Amazing. All right. Josh Smith, and he's only 2 years old. He's only 2 years old. Next question from Josh Smith. Who do I play between P. Ryan, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, and Mari Cooper and Keenan Allen? That one is tough. Who do I bench? Who are you benching? I'm assuming it's one guy that you want to bench of that grouping. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to have to be P. Ryan. And the only reason that we're going to say P. Ryan is because, again, it's very possible that with the return of Jamar Chase, that some of those targets that he's been having and the upside has really been for him in those extra targets that he's been getting out of the backfield. And if, Jamar Chase being back might cut into that a little bit, and then we really have to look at him and his work on the ground. The work on the ground hasn't been really impressive for him, unfortunately. So it's going to be probably leaning away from P. Ryan and sticking it out with St. Brown, Cooper, and Keenan Allen. Next question from Sam Bowman. Oh, who's chat? Hey, chat, who's better flex option? Thielen or DPJ? It's Thielen for me, buddy. It's DPJ for me. Again, we're looking at the upside play here. The only thing where I could see Thielen maybe getting an uptick. No, buddy, I can't fix it. The only thing that I can see here that might cause a little bit of an uptick for Thielen is if the defensive attention is really focused in on Justin Jefferson, but I don't think that that's going to really affect the target share too much, so I lean towards DPJ. Next question from Brett Lyons. Good morning. Is it safe starting Cooper? Yeah, is it safe starting Cooper seeing that it's Watson's first game back? Yes, it is. I'm okay with it. The only thing that concerns me, and it's not even Deshaun Watson, it's that the weird home away splits that we've had for Amari Cooper is the only thing that makes me kind of hesitate a little bit. I don't think that Deshaun Watson is really the risk here for Amari Cooper's game. I worry if he gets back into this, being uncomfortable away from Cleveland situation. Although he did have a nice road game before. So I'm still leaning towards going with Amari Cooper and feeling comfortable with it. We do have David Njoku is out. That is going to, increase some potential targets towards Amari Cooper as well. So I'm okay with going with Amari Cooper and taking the risk there. Next question from Crips, LOL. In Standard League, do I start Rashad White or Latavius Murray? Standard League does make you want to lean towards Latavius Murray. It's not the best matchup in the world for Latavius Murray. The Baltimore or the Tampa Bay defense, or not Tampa Bay. Latavius Murray is not there anymore. The Baltimore defense it's been fairly good against running backs. They've been easier to attack through the air. So it's not a fantastic matchup for Latavius Murray, but I still lean towards him as the guy that is more likely to get a touchdown in the safer floor as well. They're going to have to lean on the ground game. This is not going to be a situation where they try and turn this into a shootout for Russell Wilson. So I lean towards going with Latavius Murray as the guy that I would go with in a Standard League over Rashad White. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you're looking at those Standard Leagues and trying to figure out who has the higher touchdown equity. Trying to determine whether the pass catching upside is going to exist. We do have the potential of Mike Boone coming back for Latavius Murray as well. But the better option is going to be to go with Latavius Murray. And all right, guys, we've only got one more minute here left before kickoff. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap these things up. It has been fantastic. I appreciate you all sticking around with me. I appreciate you all and your wonderful comments regarding my son who has jumped in to start his own YouTube show. I'm going to have to teach him some football terminology here so he can get on the side and start live streaming with me. I got to feed him the correct information, make sure that he doesn't, say silly things like, hey, I want you to, start Alvin Kamara this week, and then he's going to have a high upside game because we're not believing that. Make sure he gets it right. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. As always, be sure to make sure that you're following Fantasy Pros because we have shows that are going to be going on later today. There's going to be continued stuff throughout the week, videos, lives. You have to stick around. Make sure that you are following us and liking the videos. And come back next week and we'll be live again. We'll see you next week. Good luck with your lineups.